All right. We should be
Book.
live. Welcome, everyone. Look at
What
this
up?
panel. Look at this panel.
What's up? Where the Danksters at?
All right, guys. We got me. We got Jesse. We got Aaron, Mr. LETGO. We got Danks. We got Matt, Triggersmart. And we are going to do in this episode is just cover the entire Charlie Kirk, I don't know, what do we want to call it? Case? Debacle?
It's like saga.
Yeah, saga.
Yeah, it's a saga. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a saga.
And we're going to start at the beginning, guys. And basically from the time Tyler Robinson gets onto campus, we're going to walk through it. And we're also going to debunk all the things that turned out to be lies that we know are lies or misrepresentations. Things like the rifle that we were shown, which didn't happen to be the rifle, all of that type of stuff. So should be a fun one. And then it's going to get us ready for the trial Monday.
You know, it would be an incredible use of AI if someone really smart with AI was able to do this, as if we took like what the output from this stream is and someone asked AI to create like a visual representation of like this clue led here, which led here. And like as an example, the rifle, where it's like, oh, they showed this picture of the rifle, which is critical to the story that the parents are the ones who recognized him. But it turns out that that rifle was not the real rifle, which completely breaks that from being possibly true.
Yep.
You know,
so we're gonna cover all that type of stuff in the trial. Do we want to? I know Danks, you and Matt are like super spun up on the actual trial itself, right? And like where that's at, evidence wise, things like that. Is there anything we've seen in the trial that is? I guess they haven't shown the evidence that leads us to believe that they have something different than what we have been presented so far. Do we know anything like that yet?
The biggest thing that I know of is going to be the, 300 terabytes of video from campus.
Okay.
That should be big.
That's going to be huge.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's 200 terabytes just of personal files, all the additional information that they haven't, all the metadata, all the things that haven't really been diving into, you know, who knows what would be uncovered from that.
The thing is, like when it comes to, because that footage is going to be very, very valuable for everybody. The thing to consider though is that I don't think anyone is even disputing that Tyler Robinson is on that roof. And so I think a lot of that footage is going to support the official story, even though the official story is not true, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just speculating, but do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So do you guys think that they have footage of him actually being up on the roof?
Well, they should. I know that there's a camera angle that could literally see where he took the shot from. Like in the prone, it should be able to see. I mean, Stephen Gardner and Gary actually went to UVU and they went up to where he supposedly took the shot from, and they angle the camera and they point to that one camera where we see the footage of him running off the roof.
Yeah.
There's another camera that can directly line of sight to the place where he supposedly takes the shot from. So I said from the beginning, if they don't show us that footage, that's going to be a big, big problem for me. Because I know you have that footage
though. Would that say he did this to Charlie Kirk? I would still say no, because I would look at that as a decoy.
You won't be able to identify it being Tyler. Like even if you see him take the shot, you're not going to be able to know for sure it's Tyler. And if you, and even if you could ID Tyler, maybe then you might not be able to see the shot. The only way, and then even if you do see him take the shot, you're like, they could have adjusted it with AI. It's all like video. It's tough, man. No.
So to Jesse's point, and this will be early in what we talk about, is we're going to see, I mean, we already have this. This is fucking zoomed in, right? Like now we can't like see because he's got sunglasses, but to Jesse's point, he's not going to look different than this in the camera footage. This is fucking from 4 feet away, and we still can't tell who this is. So
he looks so much more like Lance. If you look at Lance's TikToks, dude, like the one where he's out there and he's doing like the weird dance, that is the only person that picture on the left resembles to me.
That does not look like Tyler Robinson at all.
I don't think so either. But
I don't think it looks like Tyler.
But we'll get to that as we do it, guys. Also for chat, excuse me. If there's things we miss, if there's questions you have, just throw them in the chat, super chat them if you want them. I'll try to keep up with the super chats as we go the best I can. That way I know chat, like there's so much to this. Like it's very easy to forget things, right? Like, oh, the fact that the you know, the rifle didn't get found by the dogs, and also the shell casings. Like, these are all. This is what I want to ask you guys before we get going. What are some things in the evidence hearing that you think we need to see to actually, if the official narrative, the FBI narrative, is to be true? What are some types of evidence you guys need to see for that to move you at all? I know for me, right out the gate, it's going to be the rifle. It's going to be the rounds. Show me these engraved rounds. Like, DNA. Explain to me why he threw his engraved rounds on the ground instead of just keeping him in his pocket when he left him with the rifle. Like, all of these things I think need to be explained. What do you guys have for like evidence that you think they've got to put forward to give us more than what we got?
More information on the autopsy.
Oh,
like what actually happened inside of Charlie Kirk's body.
Yes.
I need to know that, because regardless of who did what, the thought process that a 30-06 killed him would exonerate, you know, one way or the other.
That's a great call.
Yeah. Yep.
They have already said
Robinson didn't do it if the bullet didn't kill him, you know?
Thanks, you're muted, so you know.
Yeah, sorry. So especially speaking with the medical staff on site, all of the people, every single, the receptionist, I mean, anybody that could have been there to witness the experience of him being in the hospital, being brought in, whatever the case may be, anybody involved should be, would definitely help.
This is a huge one. This is a huge one. We know they have high def 4K footage of what the security team was doing when they were treating Charlie Kirk. We have not seen
and they were very panicked about whether or not Candace recorded it when they showed it to her through the computer.
Yes.
And why the angle of Charlie was so different in this UVU situation versus every last one. It's like when he was at UVU, every single thing was different. The mic was different. The angle from behind him was different. Why was it different?
Yep.
It's really, and what I think is going to be fascinating to look at as people who are as up to date on all of the facts of the case is to watch how the defense handles witnesses and handles the entire defense. Because as much as people want to be like, oh, this is all conspiracy theory nonsense. No, it's not. If your job is to create reasonable doubt, every single intelligent argument that a person has made on the internet can be used to present a coherent defense that makes people doubt whether Tyler did it or not. Anything. Like if they go, oh, so bring on the security guys, and you're like, so what were you guys doing during this time? Oh, we were plugging the wound. We were doing whatever. And then you show pictures. How come there's no blood on your hands? How come there's no blood on your any discrepancy at all can be used to create reasonable doubt against Tyler, which means if they are not doing that, they're either incompetent or something more nefarious. You know what I mean?
Well, what a lot of people need to realize is like this preliminary hearing, it actually could stop here, you know, but the thing is,
Danks, why don't you explain that? I don't think a lot of people don't understand what this preliminary here means evidence wise for what the prosecution basically has to prove to the judge.
All they have to prove is that there's some world that Tyler Robinson was involved in the assassination and pretty much prove that. That's about it. There's no major requirement. The bar is actually very low to get into trial. And now for me,
it's a trial to justify having a trial.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So it could literally stop here. If they can't prove however, they're going to be using a lot of hearsay from Lance Twiggs, this video recording, then everything that's damning against Tyler is coming from Lance Twiggs, I think. So besides whatever ballistics, you know, but you're talking about alleged confessions, the Discord messages, the text messages, all kinds of stuff. And then the guy, Lance, whatever, the furry, he's not even gonna have to show up at all. I think that the bar should be risen for the, it should be higher for this situation. To even have a man on trial for his life should have to face the accuser that is responsible for all of that information that's putting them there.
I couldn't possibly rubber stamp
Erica Kirk and the
that's great.
Like for sure, Lance should have to be there for sure.
Yeah, but Erica Kirk and Charlie's parents are going to be there apparently.
That's what I heard.
And another thing is, if Lance Twiggs, so say they use Lance's hearsay testimony, not under oath, etc., just this recording, and they admit it into court. into the trial. It's a part of getting them to trial. And the judge says, we're going to trial. This is part of the reason why. Then they can use that against Tyler or in the trial, even if Lance disappears, because this is part of getting them to trial. So this is a major, major problem. It can be disputed how I understand it, but you never know. If things can, imagine if he just disappears, Lance Twig disappears, the thing that got everyone to this position is his hearsay, his screenshots, his whatever.
That's crazy when you start to think
he's
about
gone.
that, Danks.
And then what? So that's
so much of the evidence.
One guy.
You got Pumpkin McSpicy saying no audio. A lot of people are saying no audio.
No audio.
No audio for all of us or for some of us?
Yeah, can you be more specific in chat?
Refresh your stream, guys, if you got an audio problem, because pretty much I don't think we got any audio issues. Just refresh your stream. That typically,
or if you're having bad audio, okay, never mind. It sounds like
we're good. We're good. It's just refresh, guys. Sometimes whenever you have problems on YouTube on a live stream, refresh first. Usually it'll fix it. Yeah, you guys make really good points there. So much of the real evidence is, and especially the admitting to the crime, is via Lance Twiggs, because what we heard was, the family turned him in and all those things. We'll get to that, right? Why don't we kick this off, and why don't we start from the beginning, which is basically Tyler Robinson getting to campus, and we've heard all of these things. I tried to find the clip from Governor Cox where he explains that Tyler Robinson shows up, and I believe, I don't know how much we know. We're trying to still put these things in order, or do we want to look at the charging documents first, real quick?
Well, that's probably best, because the charging documents are different than what people have taken to be the official narrative. It's close, but there are certain things that are in there where you're like, wait, just little details that seem like a big deal that people talk about all the time are not in the charging documents, and there are other things that are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'll pull them up real quick. There's just some things to keep us here. Just some things to think about. So I'm not worried too much about the charges. We've seen the charges, a bunch of murder charges, tampering with evidence, things like that. But really, here's the actual shooting, and I think this is kind of interesting. They detail what happened, right, where everybody was at. But this is where I think it starts to get interesting, is down here with the UVU surveillance investigation, right? Because it says, at the moment, this is basically from the time of the shot. The shot rings off. At the moment of the shot, a UVU police officer was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats, believing the shot came from a rifle because of its sound. That's not what I've heard from everybody else in the crowd, but whatever. He looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area. I mean, to me, this is bizarre. Like, this police officer immediately locates the shooter the second the shot rings off and rushes there to look for evidence.
And if he's got line of sight to that roof, how is he not seeing him in advance if he's law enforcement?
Right. It's
or seeing him run off. You know what I mean?
It's very, very bizarre. But this is important. This is important here because it's a suspected shooting position adjacent to the open. It talks about where it is. And it says the UVU officer climbed over the railing down onto the roof. When he walked to the suspected shooting position and confirmed a clear shooting corridor to the position of Charlie Kirk's seat, he also noticed markings on the gravel rooftop consistent with a sniper having laid on the roof. I'm not, as someone who's done a lot of this, I have no idea what that would actually mean. And somebody laying on the roof, I guess.
Can you tell someone's a sniper by the way they lay down?
No, absolutely not. Impressions in the gravel.
They act like it's going to be like an outline, like chalk around your body. Like,
right. That's why it's the whole charging document is a little sloppy. Impressions in the gravel, potentially left by elbows, knees, and feet in person in a prone shooting position or laying down, watching what's going on. Then it says police reviewed for surveillance footage from the camera covering the roof and discovered that recorded an individual dressed in dark clothing cross the railing from the public walkway and drop onto the roof at approximately 12:15, although the individual moved out of the camera's view. This tells me right here, for a short time, the camera again captured the individual running across the roof, then low crawling the area, the UVU area, or the UVU officer recognized where the suspected sniper dropped into a prone position. I'm assuming they're saying they don't actually have camera footage of him taking the shot.
That's what that sounds like.
I'm reading this.
Okay, but how don't they? I know it says
But
that,
I mean, again, it says
how
here,
don't
although
they?
the individual moved out of the camera's view for a short time and then captures him running across the roof. Well, when we saw him running across the roof, that's after the shot. We've all seen that. So I think they're saying in these charging documents that they don't have video footage of Tyler Robinson taking the shot.
And that
what it looks
is
like.
impossible. That roof does not have a single video feed that covers it. How can that be possible?
Then
I don't know for sure
here,
it's impossible, but it seems it has to be impossible.
This is super important because this is super debunked as bullshit. And that's the fact that he was walking around with a fucking 30-06 in his skinny jeans, right? But they have it here in the charging documents. Discovery led to the intensive review of the UVU surveillance recordings to attempt and track and identify the suspect, yada, yada, yada. Throughout the surveillance, the suspect kept his head down and really raises his head enough to get a clear image of his face. I mean, they're saying that we're not going to get anything better than what we have here, right? Because they had all the evidence when they wrote the charging documents, or at least the camera footage. As he proceeds across the campus, he is seen walking with an unusual gait. Now, is this before or after the shooting? This has got to be before, right? Now, I have that footage. Well, this would be before because 11:15 is before the shooting here at 12:15, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get to it. It says the suspect walks with very little bending in his right leg. This is the TMZ footage. They are citing the TMZ footage outside of what's that guy's house? The fucking
Joe Lyman's
house, right?
Cousin's house or something like that.
I'll pull that up here in a second. But I've also disproved that he has a 30-06 in his pants from that footage already. Consistent with let me finish this real quick. Consistent with a rifle being hidden in his pants. This is in the charging documents, the official charging documents. The unusual gait continues until the suspect is seen crossing the railing off the open walkway onto the roof where he leaves the camera's view. Now, let me show you guys this. I think because I've shown this 100 times. This, let's see, can I do it like this? Yeah, here we go. Guys, this is Tyler Robinson, heading to the roof here, right? This is like the entrance to the building that gets him up to the stairwell. He's got a phone in his pocket here. There's no 30-06. I've put my own 44-inch 30-06 in my jeans, and it is the most obnoxious shit you'll ever see in your life. And I am 6 inches taller than Tyler Robinson, and it sticks up out of my jeans. You know what I mean? And you can see here, so what I like about this, there's also one more. It shows a full bend in his left leg. And then as he comes around the corner here, there's another picture where he takes a step up and his full right leg is bent. So a lot of people tried to say, well, actually he had it up his back. No, we have the back frame here. So he doesn't have a 30-06 on him. We all agree on that. Whoever this person is in this footage, he does not have a 30-06. Like, well, got a lot of gun guys.
I think that the reason why we're not going to get to the point where we get enough information on this is because this whole city, and to anybody that lives in that city, I don't want to say anything bad about them, but this whole city seems to be a whole Mormon city, right? Yes. And it's, like I said, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody's religion, but they are on code with whoever is above everybody else, right? And whether it's the person that's doing the paperwork, whether it's the person that actually not man the camera, but is in charge of, how the camera's pan, I think every single person in that city is so on code. All they have to do is make a call, because that usually is somebody's cousin, somebody's wife, somebody's friend, and they can just say, hey, get rid of that camera angle and just throw it out. And no matter who it is in that city, they're going to stay on code with everybody else. And
it's like ganged up. It's all ganged up.
I want to say code, but I don't want to offend anybody that lives there.
I lived there for a year, and I worked at a company, about 100 employee company, and I was the only person there that was not Mormon. And so I like I have a lot of insight into that community, and first of all, they're amazing people. Like we've had nothing but positive things to say about the family. See, I mean, that's a totally different conversation, but to your point, that is accurate. That that's a group that is so tight that is, and I mean that as a good thing, to where They are so interconnected, though, that if you have people who are high up in the church or high up in the community, high up in whatever, they are going to be able to call on people to do things that they would like for them to do.
Dude.
And they know no one's going to break code and no one's going to talk. Like if they're not supposed to, they're not going to.
This is Provo, Utah, right? And I learned, if you guys don't know who Mike Glover is, Mike Glover, fellow Green Beret, he had a very high profile case on him a few years ago. He lives, or last year and a half ago, he lives in Provo, Utah. And the amount of corruption the Provo, Utah Police Department and fucked up stuff they did that were exposed for, that they got sued for after, is wild. So it's not, again, Utah is known as being an incredibly corrupt state through the justice system. That's nothing new. Not to say that that's what's happening here necessarily, but to your guys' point, that is well known. Now, I want to take a look at, this is what the charging documents are talking about, is this footage right here, which is, again, you can see the TMZ watermark there. I'm blown away that and again, this is Phil Lyman's camera. He's his own
aunt's camera.
It's his aunt.
According to what I learned, his entire a huge, like 9 different people in.
But I think he owns the property though.
They own that whole neighborhood, that whole lot. No, the whole block. I mean, the whole block.
They own a lot of property in different areas. I did a records check on there. They own a lot of property.
Hey,
so this is kind of bizarre, and again, this was immediately the footage. But let's look and see if Tyler Robinson. It's hard for me to believe, because I thought he had on, according to Governor Cox, he changed into the black clothes on the roof. Didn't he have on red clothes before and after?
I love that they determined that was the same person within 24 hours, and then just like never entertained.
Well, I think this has always been afterwards. Now I don't know about how the timing works out, but I mean it anyway. Let's actually look and see if he has a 30-06 in his pants. He is limping, right? But we also watched him jump off a 12-foot tall building.
Shit, Daddy's got a 30-06 in his pants right now.
He is limping, but you'll see when this zooms in, I put this in my leg. It's still, his leg is still bending way too much. The right leg, see the bend in the leg? There's no way his leg would bend that
no
much.
way. It would go down. It'd be like a what do you call it? A stint or
And that would be just because of him jumping off of the
right. I did that on camera. It is impossible to, with a 30-06 in your pants. For one, it's obnoxious how much it sticks out of your jeans. I couldn't bend my leg at all. Zero, none. It's like having a metal rod through your leg. You can't bend your knee like more than an inch. He's bending his knee 6 to 7 inches as he's walking. So there's no 30-06 in his pants there, but that's what the charging documents say. That's what the evidence says. With that he's got a 30-06 in his skinny jeans. No. So what I need to see real evidence of how the fuck he got this rifle to the roof, because it's not what we've seen so far.
Haven't they also said that it was disassembled, and that's why the part of the gun at one point walking up the stairs? So when did he reassemble it or disassemble it to put it in his backpack? Because if that's before what you're showing, right, he had it in his leg. Oh, so the whole time he's supposed to be walking disassembled, then it's in his backpack.
Well, they're claiming he walks to the roof and it's in his pants. He somehow disassembles it on the way to the roof and puts it in his backpack for these pictures, right? Because these pictures prove he doesn't have a 30-06 in his pants. Now he supposedly has it in this tiny little black backpack, which, by the way, I've broken down a 30-06. It won't fit in this little backpack. It breaks down in 3 pieces, 2 in some versions. It's not going to fit in an 18-inch backpack. But then again, he goes to the roof and reassembles it. Cold bore shot, because keep in mind, he's a reassembled gun with a scope on it now, which those of us that shoot know that's not the best way. Not the best way to take a long gun shot is with a reassembled rifle with a cold bore scope, and then disassembles it somehow back in the backpack, reassembles it in the woods to leave it there in a towel, and then also dumps the extra shell casings out of his pocket and then leaves them with the gun for some reason. That's sort of our start to this.
It's also, I mean,
does that sound? I know
it's comical. I don't know what.
That's the official narrative, though, right?
Why?
No, I think most
why
people,
did they never? Yeah. What? Like you have two guys similar, or like you have someone similar build, two different outfits. I don't understand why they just went, oh yeah, one guy changed clothes. If you don't have him on video changing clothes, why did they never entertain that his homosexual furry boyfriend, who is an identical frame, was not one of these two, and one of them put the rifle up there, left, the other guy comes up there afterwards and does, you know, like there's like a million ways that this would make more sense than all of the things that are supposedly the official story.
Well, the thing that just came out recently was the thing Baron showed, the guy that was, you know, the other patsy that had the other rifle that might be an air rifle or something similar. Have you seen that in the last couple of days?
I haven't.
So that, yeah, so all this information came out. There was 2 other arrests, and both of them had some kind of rifle. They say it was like a 22 air caliber rifle or something similar. They both have a wooden stock. They both look like Mausers. Huh?
They're at the scene?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. He got arrested.
What?
Project Constant.
With a 22 caliber, like
yeah,
nitro pistol, like a nitro piston air rifle.
That's not the point, though. The point is that there was other people there with guns. They got arrested. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. That dude has connections to Lance. They're in the same furry group. They have like all these connections. Project Constitution did 2 posts on that today.
Oh, what's his name?
Let me pull it up.
Because I have all those guys dialed from when my original hypothesis, we went deep on these guys, dude. We got into all their like Steam stuff, and I all the records connecting like who's in that crew. We connected Robin Westman, the shooter from Michigan,
Russell Kennington,
from 2 weeks before to those people. Like they were all connected.
Here, I put it in the shared chat. I put it in the private chat. You can pull that link up.
Thanks for president. I'm gonna hit super chats as we go, guys, as you guys are like bringing up points and stuff like that. Down from the campground, so I have a signal, but there's a party from the 4th in Town Park. Just happy to say 4th of July. Thank you. What has 10 arms and 6 sleeves? These dudes, yeah. We did this one from Bobby. A couple more. No way you can take apart a rifle and not have the resight the scope. Yes, this is so true.
Yeah.
Usually it's just not a thing, right? On any scope. You can't take the scope off the gun and put it back on and expect you're going to have, you know what I mean, Matt? Could you imagine taking a long gun scope off, putting it all in your backpack, and then just reassembling it and just taking a cold bore shot and expecting it to, you're never going to hit that shot. Well, I mean, maybe, but.
I mean, especially, how do you take it apart while you're getting up and then have it completely disassembled within less than 2 seconds? That's just,
well, you don't with the 30-06. It takes about 2 minutes to disassemble a 30-06. At least the versions I have. Maybe a Mauser is a little bit different, but I mean,
if it takes you 2 minutes, it's going to take them 7.
Yeah, that's me as somebody that like very, very comfortable and familiar with how to do it. This kid who's probably never done it before.
Is there anything with this Victor Marks collapsible rifle that you've looked into? Anybody?
Well,
I don't know.
So, I mean, I've said from the beginning, if you were to talk about like this being an AR-15 style weapon with like a 300 blackout round, yeah, I mean, my AR-15 can collapse down into something that could fit in a backpack in 3 seconds. But
that's what I was saying too. You don't need this special fold AR to do that.
No. But like
I have a 10.5 that can do it.
A World War I era Mauser is not got a collapsible butt stack on it. Like that's
a good point.
Collapsible butt stocks in World War I. Like that's,
if it was a different type of gun, it'd be a different type of conversation.
In that era, what a collapsible stock would be, they would literally think that you just showed them an iPhone.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's no like high speed collapsible butt stocks in 1918, man. That's not what we're talking about. So, all right, where were we at here talking about? Okay, so we got him coming to campus, getting up to the roof. Obviously, that is silly. Let's talk about the shot being taken. I got to see something in the trial about this shit, man, which is this, dude, right? We've got George Zinn. You're telling me that this fucking guy just happens to be here. The second the shot rings out, he pulls his pants down and starts screaming, "I'm the shooter." But there's no involvement. There's no connection to him with what's going on. Does anybody believe that? Like, I mean, maybe.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people don't know is that George Zinn, that guy right there, you know, a lot of people have said he was at our 9/11 or the Boston bombings or whatever it might be. But what I found that interesting that he endorsed Phil Lyman. He's an official endorser on Phil Lyman's website.
Yeah, and then once Danks pointed that out, they took it off the website too. Like they didn't realize it was on there, and they took it down after.
I have video.
Well, and also, you know, he gets arrested right afterward for CP, right?
Exactly.
Which, if you guys didn't know this, that's the one charge that he's not allowed to be interviewed.
But it also supports that the way they would have, if it's a bigger conspiracy, the way they would have gotten Tyler up on the roof, the way they would have got this guy to be a distraction, the way they would have gotten all of these people to do the things that they want them to do is they would have picked out people who are avid consumers of horrifying CP, and they blackmailed them to do what they had to
You're
do.
right. That's a very MK Ultra style thing to do.
Yeah, that's a blackmail tactic.
We'll definitely get to this one here in just a second. Why was the crime scene tampered with and gave the order to do it? Also paving over. We'll talk about that in a second. We're just starting with the shot ringing out. Here's the other one, right? Jesse knows this guy better than anybody, right? Here's another one.
Sleepless nights on account of that, dude.
Just again, like I've been shot at quite a bit. I have never seen anyone react this way ever. It's just the human condition is not to, under fire, turn around and laugh and cheer and look at the shooter and pump your arms at how cool things are.
And of course,
I try to relate with this guy in some type of way. Like, was he just trying to encourage everybody? Like, hey, it's gonna be okay. And at some point, I'm like, no.
He did videos after. He has videos out saying why he did it.
I get you could say that, man, but like again.
It just
when you're being shot at, bro, and you hear in this situation with gunfire going off, and again, I was pretty conditioned to it, boys.
Jesse,
you would never see me doing some shit like that.
What do I think about this, dude?
Doing? Yeah, right here. What do you think he's doing?
If I had to, this is not one I feel bulletproof confident on. If I had to bet, though, I would bet that whoever actually did this and was trying to frame leftists for it, they put out a bunch of stuff onto leftist groups, which brought people like this dude out there to watch what was going to happen. And when Charlie got shot, I think that this was a left, because when Trump got shot and survived and the whole crowd started chanting USA, I think this guy was chanting USA because he thought Charlie had actually gotten killed. And so this was him like rubbing it in the right's face that like, hey, we got your guy this time.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's interesting. And that brings up another point too. All of these, I mean, we know how many people on Twitter, I mean, there was a dude that made a song about this like a little bit before. How many people on Twitter talked about this happening before it happened? Quite a few. Yeah. So for me, in the trial, like if I don't hear a word in the trial about like these 9 other people who seem to be somewhat involved, I'm going to be very, very concerned, right?
Cash testified in front of Congress and said there was at least 20 people that they were looking into in all those Discord groups. Nothing. And then nothing.
That, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's a tough sell for me. That's a tough sell for me. All right. So the shot rings off. We see we're not going to play any of that footage because guys, they will immediately demonetize anything Kirk related with that now. So we've all seen it 100 times. Shot rings out. We then see Tyler Robinson flee, which we've all seen the footage. We don't always see is the frame where he's running. We don't get to say him getting up. We don't see him reassembling or disassembling his rifle. He supposedly leaves the screwdriver. It's got his DNA evidence on. He runs. He jumps off the roof. Doesn't look like he has a gun on him. And then makes it off to the chicken coop. Reassembles the rifle. Dumps it in the woods. Also, for whatever reason, takes the other 3 rounds out of his pocket and throws them on the ground, engraved, because why not? Sure, let me leave all the evidence
rounds,
here.
I thought weren't the rounds still? They were still in the magazine because he had only taken 1 shot and hadn't shot.
Was that what it was? Yeah. Okay, so that would make it although again he had to reassemble the rifle and put the magazine back.
Yeah, true.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah,
and then leave it there. So and then from there we have the well, we'll get.
We
to
got
that.
the DNA on the towel, DNA
That's
on
what I
the
was just
screwdriver.
right. That's what I was just going to get to. Then we got the DNA problems, right? There's problems with the DNA. Isn't there like 6 or 7 people's DNA on this rifle? Thanks, Matt. I know you guys are
5. I think there's 5, 6, including Tyler.
I heard
And
that
do you
from
guys think
defense.
that maybe Lance, who definitely has access to Tyler's DNA, could have? I mean, everything that is going to be out in the messages and the confessions, Lance could have done, and the DNA evidence, Lance easily also could have done. You know,
but there's still 5 other people. Are they?
They were dirty ass
sheriffs?
dudes over there, man. It's probably a bunch of they're Magic the Gathering nerds.
But correct me if I'm wrong, guys. They weren't able to. Now, this is not that uncommon for like a murder trial with a weapon. Maybe like the law enforcement officers get their hands on it, whatever. But you can exclude them from the DNA or the fingerprint samples because you can just prove it with or back check it to the law enforcement officers. From what I understand, there's 3 or 4 untraceable DNA on this rifle on top of Tyler. Is that right? I want to make sure like we're getting things right.
I haven't seen anything confirming that.
How long does DNA stay on an object? Does anybody know?
Depend on the environment.
Can be a long time.
I'm not sure, but I mean, like
Years.
in the amount of time they found it, it would have for sure still been there.
Okay.
Yeah,
They'll go ripping through people's trash, you know, like something that's been in there for much longer than that, and they'll pull it, and they'll be able to pull like perfect samples off that stuff.
Okay.
It says it can stay on for a few hours up to several months.
Okay.
So
but again,
time.
we've got the DNA on the towel, on the rifle, and on the screwdriver left on the roof from Tyler Robinson. Right?
Wait, towel. So we're talking about a gun and a towel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he
Gun,
supposedly
towel, and screwdriver.
Wrapped the gun in a towel, even though.
Because I'm looking at the fact that he can't even have a gun on him. Now he has a towel. Where was the towel?
In the backpack,
maybe
in the magic backpack.
Okay, in the
It's all in the
backpack.
magic backpack. It's in Dora the Explorer's backpack. Dude.
Hey Nate, does it say DNA on the rifle itself? Does it say that or no?
On the trigger.
Yeah. I believe it says on the
It
trigger.
is. It's definitely on the trigger. It says
Yep.
Tyler Robinson DNA on the trigger.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a finger. Obviously, you can get a fingerprint from a trigger, of course, right?
However,
But like not a full one though. I would assume.
However, does that necessarily mean that rifle was used to take the shot? It's a 30-06.
not.
I don't believe that. So I said on day 2 or day 3, I was on Alex Jones' show. I said, very easily you could have had a situation where Tyler is the patsy or Lance is involved, and they're told to stash that rifle in the chicken coop so that the actual shooter can come by, get it, and take the shot. And if that's if Tyler is as a patsy or MK Ultra type thing, and again, who knows here, right? We're speculating. He's gonna have his DNA on it because it's his rifle.
Did they GSR Tyler?
No, not that I know of. I heard early on that they found it in his car.
Like, how would they not test his? You know what I mean? If you got his fingerprints, supposedly, like in his text messages, he's all, hope they don't get my print. So he wasn't wearing gloves. So obviously you should be able to GSR him, and either he has it or he doesn't. Right.
Well, I don't know. Let's talk about the rifle though, right? That's where we're at. So the rifle itself, we're given. I forgot to. Anybody got the picture of the rifle? We're given. We're given the this goes viral. The stock footage of the rifle. We've all seen it, right? In the cardboard box, right? At nighttime with the flashlight. And so much of the story that we were told with the evidence, actually, it's important because of this rifle. Because the rifle itself that we're shown, we're told then that his parents recognize it, right? Mm-hmm. And they text him and ask where the rifle is because they saw it on TV. Isn't that what we're told by the official narrative?
They saw an image of the rifle which matched the one that his the father's father had given to Tyler or whatever. That's why this is such a huge, because I'm like, this doesn't look like 1911. And then
that's from Walmart, dude.
Yeah, when you image search this not only doesn't, it looks very similar to a more mainstay Mauser. It looks identical to a Ruger Ruger. Like the most common 30-06 on earth is like the Ruger whatever that you can. Yeah, it's Ruger American. It's a Ruger American
30-06 with a scope that's like 5 inches too far back on it. But point being is, this is not the rifle.
Yep.
So the entire narrative that Tyler Robinson's parents saw the rifle, that's how they knew it was him. But again, did that ever even make sense? Like, if I saw a random picture of a Browning 30-06, would I be like, yep, that's mine?
Right.
From 3 hours away in a random, like, okay, that never made sense anyway, because there's, like, to say that you recognized your gun from, a situation like this was bizarre. But so we know that's not it. But that's what we were told, is that Tyler Robinson's parents saw the rifle, they contacted him, and then they turned him in because he admitted that to them. Now, I know Barron debunked this, right? Through
and look at this mount job. Like, am I tripping, or is this like
I don't know what the hell's going on. The scope is like 4 inches too far back on the gun to begin with.
This looks like AI in itself.
It does right there, huh?
Yeah.
I've never even looked at that
Actually,
before.
you're right.
Oh,
This looks crazy.
That's not attached to shit.
No,
it's
it's
all
not.
mushed together.
Yeah, you're right. That's completely fake generated image.
I literally never even done this. I just was looking at it right now, like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah, that's a fake image.
So I did a video on this. I deep dived on this whole thing. So New York Post says that is the gun. That's the gun.
But who is the New York Post?
Hold on. And if you look at the evidence and you look at all the stuff that's been submitted for this probable cause case, they say that there's a gun in a box is one of the line items. So I think that is supposedly the exact gun, according to everything I've seen. I did a whole video on it.
But didn't the FBI come out and say that's not the gun and that they haven't released anything? And
no,
I thought this was leaked to Steven Crowder. This image.
No, it was some podcasters came out and said it wasn't and it was fake and all that shit. But that's why I dived back into it, because I saw something came out and they're like, no, this is the gun. I was like, no,
that's not a World War I era Mauser. It's got a synthetic stock on it.
Correct, but it's sporterized, so it's a Mauser. They switched the stock out from wood to the synthetic aftermarket one, which everyone does. If you look online, that's the most common thing. This whole website's dedicated to just updating Mausers. Right. So not only did they update the stock to be a synthetic stock, but they also updated it to be a 30-06 instead of a 8mm or 7.62, whatever the original ones were. So based on everything I can find, they're claiming that is the gun.
That is the gun now.
According to New York Post and according to everything I can find.
New York Post is still saying that corpse of Epstein at the corner is him too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, somehow the New York Post is just they're conveniently getting these things and then they get debunked later.
I mean, he doesn't even have the scope on correctly enough to even fire a real shot on that. So
and that's my thing. That looks like a AI picture right there.
I mean, literally, if they're actually saying that this is actually, then we do. I mean, if they're really saying that, then you actually do have to look at this. And it's like, bro, this is not attached to anything.
No, it's not.
Like, this is like, it's not. It's like
you can't shoot anything with this from a long distance.
No, you're right. Now that I'm looking at it, that scope is not attached to that gun.
It's not attached, right?
Unless, I mean, maybe
it's not attached at all. Like,
it could, maybe
it
could be a super low profile mount, but it would still be pretty shitty either way.
That's not put on correctly.
I'm just saying, using that, whatever it is, whether it's AI or real, you cannot shoot anything accurately from 100 yards away.
Well, you can shoot anything. You can shoot anything accurately if you practice with it.
If you zero it in, even if it's on shitty, like steady, you might be able to. But this is.
But the thing is, he couldn't have though, because he fucking disassembled and reassembled it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you're right. Threw that on, dude.
You're right.
He just threw it on all fucked up and then took the perfect shot to the
from
net.
140 yards with that much distraction, noise, and everything else.
It's not. It can't be zeroed because you can't take the scope off of a gun and then have it still be zeroed. That's not how zeroing a weapon works, right?
Yeah.
The second you take it off, it's no longer zeroed. You have to re-zero it. So
re-zero it.
Unless the only way you could zero it would be if he had one of those laser pointer 30-06 rounds, and then he did it like through the scope, and then there's no fucking way that happened. You're right. Impossible.
All right, so according to Matt, and again, Matt, I'm not saying you're not wrong. We're just trying to figure these things out so we have a good understanding of the evidence as we know it going into Monday. That as we know it for now is what the FBI is saying is the actual gun.
Yeah, because the New York Post did it twice. Two separate posts they did said this is the weapon found on site by the FBI in like the caption of the gun. So they're saying it is. I'm not saying it is. They're saying it is.
Right.
But,
No, that's fine. Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine. We'll just this doesn't mean that I don't believe that 30-06 got used no matter what to kill him. But
guess who? But guess who runs and basically owns New York Post?
I don't know.
IHOP.
Rupert Murdoch.
I could guess. Was it
Murdoch.
It's Murdoch?
You'd probably guess right.
Rupert Murdoch.
Is it? Of course.
Right. Yeah, the Murdoch family. Yep.
Yeah. So Fox News. Yeah. Okay. So
I'm really starting to believe that 60 Minutes interview that Candace recently played. I mean, it's all a stage, and we're just watching it unfold, and it's at scale, all the way up to the top. It really concerns me that Barron's FOIA request about the plane came back from the Presidential Airlift Group, and that's if Huachuca is connected, that implicates all the way to the top, and that's a scary place to think about.
Well, if it goes all the way to the top, that means I'm right, and he's in WITSEC. If it goes to Trump,
it goes to Trump, that also, that leads into a lot of my theories, because I'm not saying he's the one who's behind it, but I am saying that it sure seems like Charlie Kirk would have been a really big problem for Donald Trump moving forward with a lot of things. The Iran war, Thomas Massie, the Epstein files, like these are all things that Charlie Kirk was going to be a big fucking problem for Donald Trump.
Think about the data centers, AI, all the
all
other
of those things.
Yeah, I've certainly never pushed back against
money,
them having a massive motive to knock him off.
All right, let's hit some. Go ahead, Aaron, and then we'll hit some super chats. I want to make sure we stay with these because the questions are kind of like filtering in as we're talking about this. Go ahead, though.
If Charlie Kirk was getting paid by them, and for whatever reason he turned on them because he was with them at first, and then he turned on them and he turned down money, I can't see them not getting rid of him in real life because he started turning down money. So to fake his death would mean he took the money and actually be able to trace that money that was offered. But it's on record that he turned the money down. So if he turned the money down, I think he is dead because he turned the money down.
We do know that he turned the cash influx down.
Yeah.
Do we know for sure that TPUSA accepted that cash influx afterwards he was killed? I've heard.
Did you see what Andrew Colvett said today on
he said
I literally just did a video about this where he's saying that not only did they never get offered that $150 million, but that even if they did, they wouldn't have been able to take it because of XYZ. And what I commented on is like, okay, so let's just say that what he's saying is like even partially accurate. What he definitely did not say is that he said TPUSA can't take that money. He didn't say Charlie or him couldn't have taken that money. Like, because that they offered Trump $200 million to agree that if he won to let them annex the West Bank, right? Like that's essentially bare. So like, what would the difference be? Like, you think that these people don't have ways to just give people $150 million? Like, they just have like a cold storage Bitcoin wallet and have $150 million on it. You know what I mean?
Didn't Candace say that they rolled it into a stock investment, like a startup, or
something like that? Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, but and Andrew just denied it publicly. Like, but just denied it.
Yeah, but you have to watch out for these fucking people, right? Because they're crafty. Because to Gangs's point, what he'll say is TPUSA never accepted $150 million cash influx. While he's
denying
not lying,
part of the story.
Well, he's not. While he may not be lying that they didn't accept $150 million cash investment, they may have also, to
in a different form,
accepted $150 million in a different form, in an equity investment. So
that's where
you got to be fucking careful with these people with the way that they deny things like that.
Yeah, just listen to them like you're a lawyer. What do they not say?
I have a art theory that I'm still scared to do a live about to this day because I'm afraid of getting sued. But
then you probably shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, this is the worst possible place for you to talk about this. If you don't want to get sued for this, Aaron, literally, I can promise you.
I get
some of our friends are watching this right now, getting ready to do some expose. Shit.
So I would save that for your own stream.
Yeah.
We'll move past that one. All right, let's hit some of the super chats so Aaron doesn't get us all.
Yeah, everybody can monetize all at once.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about this. Why did they not preserve the crime scene papers? Why did they not collect all the evidence? His phone, the car, etc. We will talk about that here soon. If you have a viewer saying no audio, yeah, just refresh. Type F5 in the chat. How do you say refresh works if the viewer can't
Those
hear
beans
you?
look good.
Yeah. Thank you. Have any of you actually watched a case from beginning to end before investigation, all pre-trial hearings, and then trial? I have. Yes,
I did with a Diddy trial.
Yep.
This is my
so
first.
They can be boring. There's definitely, that's why I want to get a bunch of guys in on it.
Very boring.
We got me and Matt so far that are going to be, and then I'm sure you guys will probably jump in with us. But
it'll be like there will be like blips of such amazing excitement. Like Lance is testifying today, you guys. It's his first day of testimony.
Yeah.
In the real trial.
Hey, Nate's Terra, my handle is from Brady Bunch. If he gets convicted, he will be able to get off on appeal. That's why he needed a private attorney. We're talking about Tyler.
Sounds like
it's going to be tough to appeal that. They'll kill him before death. I don't know. I think he's definitely getting the death penalty. We're going to talk about at the end what we think is going to happen. Thank you, Bonnie. We'll do a couple more. Have you guys seen a picture of the microphone after exploded? You can see a USB port device obviously malfunction. Next day pavement to hide the residue. We're going to talk about that. We'll get to the exploding pager thing as we get a little bit further. Charlie wasn't shot. Of course, there's no footage of TR shooting from the roof. Well, there is a gunshot that goes off. That's going to be really hard to work our way around, but that doesn't necessarily mean there wasn't multiple things happening at once, right?
Was it a shot?
There's called fail safes. No, I'm saying there was a gunshot.
Okay.
From what everybody in the crowd said, they don't think it sounded like a 30-06. They think it sounded more like a 22 or maybe like a 223 round or a firework. There was some type of
blank they put in there for Tyler or whoever was on the roof.
Okay. And keep in mind, guys, a blank sounds just as loud as a real bullet, right? It's the same amount of explosive powder. It's just not firing a cartridge out of it. So you can use blanks and they're very, very loud. So that's possible too. All right, two more. Let's jump in. Thank you, Renee. And seems like they're trying to use jargon that won't be understood by anyone who doesn't know the basics of the shooter laying down, etc. would look like. Yeah, maybe. All right, so
let's do bullet. Let's do the bullet fragments.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, let's do that. So this is an interesting one. Me and Jesse, I think we had talked about this before with Chris Piota, right? We asked Chris this, Jesse. We said, the fact that the bullet can't be conclusively matched, language is important, to Tyler Robinson rifle, because TPUSA and Officer Tatum will tell you none of that matters. According to Chris Piota, he said that's actually very, very important because it just helps instill reasonable doubt into the case, right? So have we learned anything beyond that? I did a whole episode on the follow-on report that, of course, some of our friends used to mislead people with, but we haven't found any more than that, than the ATF report also saying that it's not conclusive. And then I could kind of explain the difference between a 30 caliber and a 30-06, because that seemed to be like TPUSA, that was a gotcha. They seemed to somehow try to say that because it says a 30 caliber bullet was found in Charlie, but they couldn't match it, that means it's a 30-06. Do we all understand that that's not what that means?
Yeah.
One
thing I was just going to throw out there, just because you brought it up, is like, if during this trial, if you see that any of us are hosting Chris Piota, we should definitely do. Is where you listen. That's where everybody just shut your dumb face and listen to dude who is third in command of the FBI in this type of, like, he knows exactly what
technical evidence. Yeah,
exactly. Like I just listen to him and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And like, it's very illuminating when he's talking about cases in terms of like, because he's also like with us, or he's looking, he's like, but he like knows that's why you should be suspicious of XYZ. Not necessarily this case where he was talking about, but like the Brown shooting. I did a stream with him and it was like, so yeah, we should definitely start bringing him on when it comes to the trial for sure.
Do you guys, Matt or Danks, in your coverage of the trial, do you guys have anything extra on this, on the fragments?
Yeah, so basically the ATF did their testing. They did the VCM, the visual analysis, and then they also did some metallurgical testing on the lead fragments. And then that was what was inconclusive. But then it says right here in the document, the state also intends to conduct metallurgical testing with the FBI. So the FBI is supposed to be doing testing after the ATF.
So Chris Piota, we asked him, Jesse, remember we asked him about that, about the ATF doing a report and the FBI doing an independent report? And he said that never happens, and they do not allow that to happen, because what happens if the ATF comes back with one thing and the FBI comes back with other, your case is shot.
Yeah.
And so he said that's actually insanely bizarre and he says that you should not expect to see the FBI actually come back with anything here because only the ATF would actually handle that. And that's from the
because
third
then if they came back with, oh, it's a positive match, literally, then now the jury's going to assume that anything that came from the FBI would be suspect, that they planted it or whatever, because, you know, oh, the ATF said it doesn't match and the FBI don't. No, it does match. It's like,
that's the thing, though. It's the language, though. The ATF said it was inconclusive. That doesn't mean it doesn't match. So by them saying inconclusive, that means whatever the FBI comes up with is good to go. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, what it means is the ATF cannot say, the ATF can't prove that it's matched. But to Matt's point, if the FBI could prove that, maybe. What I also think is interesting here is in that report, it says a 30 caliber round was found inside Charlie. This is where, and I was actually very disappointed in, and you know, I'd talk about Gary ever, but I was very disappointed in Gary because Gary is an actual firearms expert, and he used it as an opportunity to immediately come out and say he took that clip and he said this proves it was a 30-06. Now he knows that 30 caliber doesn't mean 30-06, and he still decided to mislead his viewers, which I think is just not the way to do it. For those of you who don't know, pretty much every rifle fires a 30 caliber round or can fire a 30 caliber round. So you can fire a 300 blackout round out of an AR-15, 308, AK-47 round is a 30 caliber round, right? Your 300 Win Mag, your 30-06, 30-30. There's like 15 different rounds out of every rifle platform that shoots a 30 caliber round. So understand, guys, for those of you who aren't big firearms guys, the ATF report saying a 30 caliber round that could be matched to even pistols. There are even pistols that can shoot a 30 caliber round. So that doesn't mean it's not a 30-06 because a 30-06 is a 30 caliber round, but it could be, you know, it could be every different type of rifle that basically exists fires a 30 caliber round. So, right? Is everybody good with that?
A 30 caliber round, if they did find a 30 caliber round inside of Charlie's body, though, if that's true, obviously that would lend it, you know, like that would be,
he was shot by some type of, he was, well, what that would mean is he was shot by some type of firearm.
That's
what it tells us. From a pistol.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. If they have a magazine and it has 3 other bullets in it, and he fired 1 bullet and they have the casing, and this says right here in the report, it says with a jacket. So it's a jacketed bullet of some type. They can just look at the other 3 bullets and see exactly what it is.
But why?
That's true. Does it match the other 3 or 4 that are still in the mag?
This is important, Matt, because when I saw that report, that was my very first thought, and I was a little confused why the ATF didn't list what the specific actual round was. Because to your point, they have 3 other rounds right there that they could say, okay,
hold on, I got it right here.
These are 30-30. These are 30-06. These are 300 Win Mag. Right.
Can I share screen real quick?
They could test the metal on, like, even like if they identify it's a, you know, if they're all the same rounds, they're Winchester, whatever it is, like they could take that projectile they found in Charlie and then metal test it to see if it is the same as the ones that were still in the mag, right?
They list it right here. They literally say 30-06 Springfield.
Right, but they don't say he was shot with a 30-06 round.
But they do it indirectly, because right here it says 30-06 Springfield caliber cartridge. You have the casing. So the case that's left is a 30-06 Springfield. The other 3 are also 30-06 Springfield. So they're saying all of them were 30-06. In this report, this is the report that they put out.
I guess,
but they're saying that those were. They're saying there's one
if you go to the report, go down to where it talks about what was found inside Charlie. That's not what they say.
Let's see.
Yeah, so they're saying inside the magazine you have 1 spent casing,
and they also say they can't conclusively match the round found in Charlie to those casings, to that,
which is crazy because, like I said, they should be able to.
This report
even
as well.
If the normal way that you check ballistics and try to match is, I'm not. You guys probably know this better than me, but like the markings on it from the barrel or whatever. If they couldn't do that, they still would be able to test the metal makeup of the round against the ones that are still in that rifle to see if it's
because this we were already told by the FBI. We were already told this was for 30-06 rounds, right? My point is, when you go to the actual, if you scroll down to the actual report of what they found, they don't say a 30-06. They say a 30 caliber round and also cannot be conclusively matched to those cartridges to that rifle, right?
One really important point for people who are not
right here.
firearms people is like,
See what it says here? This is important. Like legal documents, guys, and Baron would be able to say this. My dad's a lawyer. Words are so important. Words mean very specific things in legal and evidence. And so what you see here is it says consists of 130 caliber deformed damaged bullet and 4 leg fragments. The very next paragraph says the result of the comparison was inconclusive, right? They were not able to match that 30 caliber round to the rifle or those cartridges that they listed above that. And then, and you see down there on the bottom, it says firearms right here. And they say it in the report, exactly what I'm telling you. Firearms that produce general rifling characteristics similar to those observed in Exhibit 6A, the bullet found in Charlie fragment, include numerous makes and models. They literally say the 30 caliber bullet can't be conclusively matched because it could belong to a wide variety of different types of rifles.
And look at that.
ATF report
and it says
it's right there.
They said it's the leg fragments are not suitable for microscopic comparison, because that's what I'm saying. Compare it microscopically, the metal, to the ones that are in the rifle. Why would you not be able to? Why would that not work?
My point with this is you could have Tyler Robinson's rifle and some fucking rounds, but if Charlie was shot with a different fucking gun, that still matches this report.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. The microscopic comparisons, are they referencing how they look for the markings? Is that how they match? I might have actually said the wrong thing there. Okay, I apologize. That's not.
But to my point, right? Like, yes, they talk about that they found those cartridges, but when you actually get down to the report, that's not what it says. They should say a 30-06 round was found inside of Charlie Kirk. It does not say that. And then they are very specific to tell you the reason why we can't conclusively match this is because this round could be matched to multiple different types of rifles. The ATF said that in the report.
Yeah.
This isn't my opinion. We're going by the report, right?
Dude,
but language is important.
Too is like any of those, the majority of those, what's a 30 caliber round that you would not expect to rip through his neck though? Like 7.62 is probably going to go through. 308 definitely going to go
300
through.
300 blackout going to be
maybe
as small as you get, and that's going to blow right through his neck too.
Yeah,
I mean, most likely, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a subsonic at 140 yards might not, but I don't know.
It's going to be, maybe not. Right. Well, you're to Matt's point, from that angle, you're in the realm of possibilities for sure now. Like
short barrel, like with a short barrel, it's going to go a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it still seems like it would
hitting
the
right
soft
neck.
neck tissue.
Yeah.
And not penetrating through an exit wound. I mean, you'd expect even a pistol round to do that. But to my point, you are in the realm of like statistical probabilities here that if it was, let's say, AR-15 with a 300 blackout round, to Matt's point, maybe, right? Now, you could very easily have, not very easily, it'd still be statistically low probability, but it's in the realm of like, if the FBI would have told me that right out the gate, it was an AR-15, I probably would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
That would make a little bit more sense.
It's like it's possible at least.
Yeah.
You would think that the 30 caliber finding would actually be like, why wouldn't they just turn it into, it's not a 30? Well, I guess because they fucked up with the gun. They should have never showed the gun.
If they don't show
that.
Just saying.
Yeah,
when we look at the report, right? This is why I did a whole episode on that report to try to explain this to people of like, hey, we have to really understand what they're talking about with the words here. But anyway, but again, when we talk about reasonable doubt, right? Like
that
these
alone,
are all things.
And if they did, and if it wasn't, let's just say, like, play it out. If it's a 300, let's say it's 300 blackout, and he was shot from a different position or whatever, because a 300 blackout, that's a much, I guess not necessarily a tougher shot. Either way, where did that shot come from, and where did that person go? You know what I mean? If it was not,
we
actually,
talked
I
about
guess we don't know
right?
for sure that rifle was even on the roof. There's nothing that we know for sure. I feel like at all.
No. Okay, that's good with the fragments. Let's talk about paving over the crime scene. Right, that's another one that I think everybody is like, okay, is this I wish we had like a crime scene investigator on the panel. I don't know if you guys have talked. You guys have talked to a lot of different like interesting people in that regard, Matt and Danks. Have you heard anything like? Is this a normal? I've never heard anything like this. Is this a normal thing that you got to just immediately pave over? And why? Have we got a reason why they had to pave over this immediately?
There was nothing normal about it. If you watch the interview from the guy who actually did it, it was called a paver emergency, something he'd never heard of. They had him do it on a
paver
day.
Emergency?
A paver emergency.
Oh, you didn't hear that?
I haven't heard that. No.
I've never heard those words
What?
before about anything.
What does that mean?
Yeah. They hit him up. Yeah, he'll tell you.
I have
And
the
they don't work
video.
on that day.
You guys want
They
to
don't
look
work
at
that
it?
day either. So he had a really hard time finding people to help him because no one else usually works on that day. And basically, long story short, they hired him. He jumped in and did it. And afterwards, he's like, it seems kind of sketchy. But the soil had already been removed by somebody else, and the people that did it before, I guess they were like the UVU crew or something, or they worked for the state. So it was all sketchy. But they removed 10 inches of earth to do pavers.
Why?
I don't know if that's normal.
Do we know
Did you
why?
want to see the actual video of the
can-
guy talking?
I can tell you why.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
We got a lot to get through. Yeah.
The only realistic
I'll trust you
reason
guys.
that it would make sense would be in the event that there was an enormous amount of blood like there that they could not get rid of, and there was just like, this is trauma for like the students of the school. If it was like on cement,
But there wasn't. Because
but there
I've
wasn't
seen the
exactly.
crime
But there
scene,
wasn't.
and there is very
There
little
was
blood.
no blood
Exactly.
on the way to the truck. There was no
Yeah.
blood under
There's
the tent, and there was
very
no
little
blood
blood.
in the actual truck. There was no blood
Exactly.
anywhere.
Nowhere.
The only thing I can say for sure is that guy that did the interview that Triggersmart was talking about, and that Mr. LETGO wanted to play, is that he said that the governor Cox, and the FBI, he either said
Yep, he did
I think
say
he
that.
said FBI. I don't think he named anybody. I don't think he named Cash Patel. But he said FBI and Governor Cox said that it was coming from them. So it's coming from the top of the top.
What?
The person telling him,
Yep.
directly from, and then also
no.
in the school's schedule for that day, or their work schedule of doing renovations, they had that in there. I don't know if they inserted it in. I don't know enough details about that, but it wasn't in there. I'm sorry. And then they added it into their schedule. So it wasn't on the pre-approved plan, is what I meant to say.
And they
then-
needed.
No, I see what you're saying. So it wasn't like, hey, it just happened. Like they were going to be doing this anyway. Just
No,
happened to be
opposite.
unfortunate coincidence.
Opposite. They
No
have
shit,
a
they were
list
like-
of things that they usually do, and it wasn't in there. And then they
Oh my
added that
God,
work.
dude. I
And it
didn't
was
know that.
done on a Sunday, a day that
In
he didn't
Utah.
work. Yeah, in Utah. So he turns around and is just like, yo, okay, I'll get to it Monday. And part of the emergency was like, I don't work on Sunday. I don't want to. He was literally, I don't want to do it. And they kind of forced him to do it. And then they turned around and said, and there will be no questions asked. That was a
We're not
part
asking.
of what he said.
And this
We're
is
not
from the guy who
asking
paved it
any-
over.
Yes, there's no
Holy
questions.
shit.
You can't
I
ask
didn't
any
see that.
questions.
And it's
And he
coming
stayed
from
quiet
the
for as long as
FBI.
he did. Yeah, he
and
stayed
government.
quiet for as long as he did because he thought he was like doing the right thing. And then when he
Yeah.
started
Right.
getting caught up on how shady the case was, he's like, I think I have to talk about this.
Yeah.
Well, his business was getting hurt. They were leaving 1-star reviews. They were calling, harassing the guy, and he was trying
Really?
to save face. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure. Dude.
That
Yeah.
reminds me, I need to bury this dude's business in Palm Desert that tried to fuck my mother-in-law at $2,000. Anyway, neither here nor there.
So, do we have any reason why?
Why what?
Well,
Why what?
Why they needed to pay, like an official that from the FBI, from this guy, from the school?
The pave over.
It's all
Why
hearsay.
did you need
It's
to
all hearsay
pave
at this
over?
point.
Nobody has said this. Like nobody
There-
official from an official like FBI, the UVU.
That's a good
campus.
point. I don't
It's
think
an
they've
lie
ever
into the
given.
defense. Like, why would the defense not bring that up if they are trying to get Tyler Robinson acquitted?
100%.
I would say.
I think they've just said beautifying the property and like cleaning it up. I think work they wanted to do, but they never did. I don't think they've given an official.
I mean, that's a
response on
crime scene.
I
Dude,
would say
Nate,
the
how fun would it
reason
be
why-
if we got Tyler to hire us as his defense team and we got to actually just roll in and just try this thing and to bring up
That'd
people
be-
who are like,
yeah.
have you ever
I
heard
mean-
of this? Like, dude, you can
Yeah.
tear this case apart.
If
Yeah.
there was a good reason for it, wouldn't they just be able to say, "Here's the reason," and we'd go, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." But
I
we've
think
got nothing.
the actual reason why they paved it over because bomb dogs, because it was like explosive, shit all over the ground. So it wasn't about blood,
Allegedly.
in my opinion.
Not if it was a
about
gunshot, it wasn't.
explosive
Oh, you're saying the
material.
real reason they did
Oh,
it
yeah.
is
The
because they
real
wanted to
reason.
get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that
Yeah.
like I think
That
everybody's
makes
on the same page that clearly
Yeah.
there was evidence of something that actually happened that they
Yeah.
wanted to get rid of.
You bring
Whatever
a
it
dog
was.
through there, they would have found all types of shit with a dog.
That's what it looks like. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how you could come to any conclusion. If they haven't given any statement otherwise, I don't see how you could come to any conclusion
Yeah.
otherwise. So, I mean,
Now playing devil's advocate.
no, Matt, these are good. These are good.
Go,
right?
Matt.
So playing devil's advocate, because I had the same question, because I can't say who, but I've spoken to people at UVU. I told them I wouldn't say, who specifically it is. So you're looking at, so say the crime happens today. 4 days later, it's like 4 or 5 days later, they do this paving, right? So there was plenty of time if somebody wanted to go there and find some residue or something or catch something, they had plenty of time to do it. But the fact that it was done on a Sunday, it's kind of sketchy, whatever. But 4 days later, that's plenty of time for the FBI and the police to scrape everything, get all the samples they need. They had plenty of time to do all that. Because I was like deep in that for like probably 2 weeks, and I was like, is it normal?
But according to Joe Kent and according to Mike Glover and his CIA source, the investigation was concluded by the FBI within 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, that to me that seems like plenty of time. Yeah, I mean, because you're talking about like what 20, 30, 40 people on the ground, all doing samples everywhere, taking pictures, video, everything. 48 hours, that's a long time.
But I think their concern would be someone coming later who's outside of whatever is actually going on, and they get into the ground and they find something that they do not want anyone to ever see or have.
No,
I mean, to be fair,
I get your point with that, Matt. But again, that doesn't explain why.
They were going through the grass for a good 45 minutes, just going through the grass looking for something,
kicking stuff around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait, they were afterwards? I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's my
right after
question.
it happened. This was when you seen
like when Farnsworth went and got the SD cards and stuff.
Start taking everything down. In the background, you'll see people just looking around, kicking shit. Like just looking around in the grass. Things.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something crazy?
It's not.
Listen to this,
because there's no exit wound.
The Butler place where Trump was speaking was also covered up with a building as well.
I have heard that. Yeah.
Wait, really?
The Trump. I saw Barron. He showed it. He went on Google Earth and
they covered up
where
the
Trump got shot was covered up with a building and a building.
Yeah, they put a cement flooring over the top of it and put an entire building right on top of it.
They built the building over it.
So now if we're looking at patterns,
they're going to see that Trump's blood was fake. They're like, his ear ketchup.
Putting cement over crime scenes, like these big ass crime scenes that are
wow.
Here's a good one from Bobby. What's the difference from the TMZ dude's house and the chicken coop where they found the weapon, and how did he put it back together? Didn't they find his screwdriver on the roof? Yeah, that's a problem because as far as I understand it, Matt, maybe you know more about a World War I era Mauser. I believe a World War I era Mauser gets put together with a flathead screwdriver in 2 pieces.
Yeah,
I don't believe you need. I don't believe you need as much as like more modern 30-06s to break.
Correct. It's 2 pieces and like 2 screws.
Yeah.
Ian,
okay.
I know Ian went out there and he told me that he went to like the chicken coop, and I was like, is there a reason why he would have left it there as opposed to like taking it with him? He's like,
so here's where I'll play devil's advocate too, right? Just me thinking through this. The excuse will be the reason why he needed to leave it there is because he didn't want to travel back to his car with a 30-06, so he gets seen and then potentially gets arrested. So he's dumping it, and then doesn't he say, "Oh, we're going to talk about after the arrest," but doesn't he talk about that? I actually have the document of going back and needing to grab the rifle. Hold on, let me pull it back up.
Oh, it's my favorite part of the case.
Of needing to, we can move on to this. This is a good transition, right? Yes. Of him kind of getting away. We're kind of to that point of he talks about this, right? Doesn't he say that he needs to find a way? Oh,
to
here
get back there.
To
pick up the rifle that I used to shoot Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, here we go.
I need to do that in writing.
I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back his grandpa's rifle. Okay.
The most
crazy.
egregious part of this text thread is when he actually references the things that were written on the rifle rounds. It's
so
like, you have to be
let's-
fucking kidding me. Every bit of physical evidence is somehow referenced in this text thread. Give me a break.
Let's go through this. But again, also real quick, guys, do you think after you just shot someone in the throat and fled for your life that the number one thing you'd be worried about is your dad finding out that you took his rifle? Do you know how fucking dumb that sounds? Like,
What am
I mean,
gonna
come
say to
on,
my
dude.
Dad?
This is the worst of your worries. But anyway, let's jump into this, guys, because this is a huge piece of the evidence, right? This is where he admits to the crime. This, like you guys said at the beginning, this is like a key piece of evidence that's tied to Lance Twiggs.
It's their confession. This is
the confession, right? And here it is, right? That's just first thing. I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in warm.
Dude, no one would talk to their girlfriend, boyfriend.
Somebody might,
wife,
but a 22-year-old Gen
in
Z
that
kid
situation like that, you would be talking like think about it. Like if you were talking to your wife, you'd be all, I still need to try to go back. Even if this was real, you'd be like, I need to figure out a way. You wouldn't be like, hey, sweetie.
You'd be panicked.
You know what I mean? It's like,
it's so dumb. Anyway,
dumb.
Okay, let's but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long before I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. Like, I love how he admits to literally everything that you could possibly admit it to. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you.
But I did write a note for you just in case I didn't want to keep
you
it.
weren't the one who did it, right? I am.
Keyboard.
I'm sorry. Also, why would he be apologizing? Wasn't the whole reason he killed Charlie was for his roommate because Charlie was,
right. So
bigot.
If you intended to do something, why are you apologizing?
I don't know. And to him, I thought they caught the person. No, they grabbed some old crazy dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's still one vehicle lingering. Now, what I know from this, because I actually know one of the sheriffs that was on the ground here, and he was updating me in real time the first day as this was happening. They did not have this lockdown for hours. It took hours for the sheriff's department to get there because the UVU police department did such a terrible job of actually locking this down. So he actually had plenty of opportunity to freely come back and get his rifle from my source that is an actual sheriff there. Anyway, just an aside.
That's really important. That's a really important detail.
Yeah, I don't think many people know that. I probably should have told you.
I did not know that. That's super important.
Let me get you guys want to hear about me talking to the UVU sheriff and him line by line as it was happening, right? So at first, right, and I'm talking about before we ever even got the first Cash Patel, we got him. Like, he's updating me. And I see Cash Patel put out the message, we got him. And I text him and I'm like, okay, Cash. And I sent him, hey, Cash Patel said you guys got him. And he goes, we have no idea why the FBI is saying that. We have no one in custody and we have no leads. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fucking weird. And then Cash Patel comes out and goes, we don't got him. Right. And then Cash Patel comes out again and goes, we got him.
Oh, Cash said that about Zinn, right? He was talking about Zinn the first time.
Right. Yeah. And so my buddy in the sheriff's department was like, we have no fucking clue why he said that because we have no one in custody and we have no suspects at the moment. All we know, he told me, all we know is that it looks like it was somebody in black clothing. At that point, that's all they had known. The sheriff's department, who had gotten there after about an hour, and they actually had called in the SWAT team from, what's the big city in Utah? The main city?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City. The Salt Lake City SWAT team had come down hours later to help them deal with the situation. Then when Cash Patel said it again, I was like, okay, you guys got him now. And he goes, no, we fucking pulled over an old guy in downtown Provo who had a pellet rifle in the back of his truck. The FBI heard that we had pulled somebody over, and Cash Patel immediately posted on Twitter that they found him. And then we had to tell the FBI, no, we fucking don't have them. Stop doing this. This was straight from the sheriffs at the sheriff's department while this was happening. So let's give you an idea of how fucked up and disorganized and how basically the FBI was not coordinating with the sheriff's department at all while this was happening.
Let me ask you that, like, what was the exact timing of when this was happening? And I'll tell you why I ask is because a lot of people think that Tyler Robinson was supposed to go
as it was happening the first day, dude. Like, I'm talking about as Cash Patel put the tweet out, I text him.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people think that Tyler Robinson was supposed to show up somewhere and then get killed by police. And then they're like, and then he didn't show up. So like that would line up where Cash is like, fuck, so he didn't show up, man.
Here's what he told me. Because I was like, what was it like when you got there? He said, when we got there, he's like, the entire scene was not secured. We had to basically re-secure the entire scene. The area up where the shooter was, he said nobody had even been up there to look yet. Even though the charging documents said that police officer ran immediately up there and found the pictures, he was like, nobody had even been up there yet. It was the sheriff's department that actually got up there and found that.
He's like, we've actually found a Polaroid picture of Tyler Robinson that he had written, I did it, on the roof after.
But anyway,
and it's so fucking dumb, dude.
But anyway, we'll get back to the charging documents. But anyway, that's just kind of interesting, right? Of like, the sheriff's department just being like, what are you guys fucking talking about the entire time that was going on? So he said here, I've had enough of this hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. Who fucking talks like this? Not a 22-year-old Gen Z kid. Maybe we'll grab my rifle.
And he never talked to him about this before either. He sleeps in bed with him and he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to keep this to myself. Like, also, I'm going to go commit this murder.
Here's crazy. How long have you been planning this? Just a week. So this 22-year-old Gen Z kid pulls off this and gets in, infiltrates in, pulls off the shot, kills Charlie Kirk, gets out, doesn't get caught, all in just a tiny amount of
with no practice.
And then
having never seen the location
8 times.
Anyway, so what are you guys? Oh, the engraving down here. I love how he even writes about engraving the bullet.
That's what I'm saying. That's the dumbest thing of all.
It's right here. It says, to end it, only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel, ... Remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are mostly a big meme. I see whatever that means. On Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Why did, just that. What are our thoughts on that here now?
That text right there, no one will ever convince me that's real. Like, that's the
lead piece of evidence, though.
I know, but that particular text is so hey, remember when it's kind of a big meme. And if I see them on Fox News do the whatever thing, I think I'll have a stroke. It's like, oh, this is just all so silly. It's all so silly. I just shot a dude in the face on national television. And I'm just going to reference the physical evidence that I left behind. It's so dumb. It's fucking idiotic.
If this is the main evidence, if you were Tyler Robinson, do you really think you're going to get convicted?
Well, I mean, I think he's going to get convicted in Utah.
I mean, you would think,
sure.
Like, no matter what that case real shows. Good. Someone did a real good job framing me for this.
Can he file for change of venue because of that?
Good question. I would if I would want to.
I would file for change.
I don't know if he can though, because it's a state case, right? He didn't cross state lines.
They might be able to change city.
I don't change jurisdiction. My insight on the LDS church is limited as it relates to whether he's going to have a better or worse time physically there. I don't know, but like, I guess you're right. You couldn't transfer it out of Utah, obviously.
No, it's
even if you go to another city, it's going to be the same cult.
We could get to our thoughts there at the end. I mean, I think in Utah, with the evidence they have now, which is not even evidence, he's going to get found guilty and get put to death.
Damn,
because it's so hardcore religious there. In my opinion,
hopefully he had downloaded the worst types of stuff. If he is a patsy, I hope that the reason that they chose him is because he was watching the most monstrous content in the history of the world, and I'll be happy that he's gone afterwards. You know what I mean?
All right, so we got through that. We've got the silly evidence. Where are we at now?
Let's look at the vehicle. I sent you a link, Nate, in the private chat. Those are from Daisy. That's the HD version of the images.
Real quick, on the text messages, they've never really said where these texts came from. Actually, right? It's just that the feds have them. Right?
Oh no, they did. They said that. Where did they said that? Then they interviewed Lance Twiggs. Lance Twiggs buckled under questioning. He told them about the note that Tyler had left him underneath
that he destroyed, right?
The keyboard.
Oh, that's
and then he gave them the text thread conversation.
No. This is what we got to right before Matt. We'll get to that. I got it pulled up right before we get to the car. The Discord messages. I think this is huge. This is too. Darren
and Turkey Tom
uncovering that the Discord messages were put out after Tyler was already in custody with the sheriff's department. That has been proven, right? Through timestamps. Not debatable. So that tells us what it tells me is somebody who, like, I play video games as a hobby, not anymore, but as grown up, Discord is on my computer. That's what you use to talk to all your buddies while you're gaming. And if you were to come in my house and you got on my computer, you got on Discord, it stays logged in. You could jump in and you could start fucking texting. Well, who could have possibly been sending Discord messages admitting to the crime after Tyler Robinson was already apprehended?
Could it have been
Maybe
the guy
Lance
that,
Twiggs, his roommate boyfriend, who had access to his gaming PC.
and he also could have texted all of that stuff to himself and then gone and deleted it in Tyler's phone while he was, or whatever, or he had a cloned version of it or whatever. Like,
right? That's
if
all that
Lance
stuff
is even a real person. I mean, I'm not joking about
this is
a good friend of mine in
relevant.
Utah said he does not think that he's even a real person. He's like, I don't know anyone who knows the Lance guy. He's like, I know all these other people. Like I got connections all over. He's like, but no, I haven't talked to anyone who knows that kid Lance. And I'm like, seems weird. I don't know.
Let's remember, like, ultimately, to get through the preliminary, they don't have to prove anything. They just have to say they have these. It's up to the defense.
They have to prove probable cause. They still have to prove probable cause.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to use whatever they say they have.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got like the pictures of Tyler walking up to the roof with him running off the roof. To Dankster's point, that's probably good enough for them to be like, all right, we could try to.
Yeah, they're just going to say these are all the things, anything they can provide to get them through to say we think he's involved. They'll use it. So they're going to throw the book at
I mean, him confessing on his own Discord, even if they're going to be able to poke holes in whether he actually did it, is going to for sure be enough for them to do the trial, theoretically.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's his account.
And then later in the trial, if the defense is good, they'll be able to say, not possible. This evidence is not possible, right? Because he wasn't.
Yeah, I still can't believe that, to your guys' point, that they're allowing Lance to not show up for the preliminary trial, given the fact that he's the source on literally all of the key evidence.
Everything.
Yeah.
And he's the most suspicious person. Yeah. And he's been given immunity. Well,
and I heard he got kicked out of his family because he stabbed his family member.
As far as was it Barron or Matt that was explaining he's only got immunity for the recordings.
Yep.
Those Barron that will be in the pre-trial. He doesn't have immunity for the actual trial, the actual trial. But I would be shocked, but I would not be shocked to see the prosecution try to give him full immunity in the actual trial.
Question. This can make it to the Supreme Court and get out of Utah. True or false?
The Supreme Court,
as a civil case, it could. Yeah.
Supreme Court will look at state cases?
I think they would because of who died.
I'm pretty sure it can. Look at Donald Trump just tried to get the E. Jean Carroll case. That's a private civil lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court. That
the Supreme Court looked at it? They looked at
the but then they turned it down. They said, we're not taking the case. But it went to the Supreme Court, and they turned it down last week. So, yeah, I would assume so. I would assume you could try to appeal it, but...
Yeah, but I think you have to go through this court first and then appeal.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I mean in an appeal.
He'll be able to appeal. Yes, he'll be able to appeal. Yeah. Now, if it's like the Carmelo Anthony trial, they're going to try to appeal. They'll get it's going to get turned down, but he'll have the ability to appeal it. That doesn't mean anybody will take it. But
I think they would take this one. I think they would have to take this one.
We don't know what they're going to end up doing in trial once they likely get there. So, I mean, it's really hard to say for now.
Yeah.
What it says about the Supreme Court for this particular type of case is it says the Supreme Court can take on a state murder trial only if the case involves a specific unresolved question of federal law or U.S. Constitution. Which probably means that how Trump was trying to go at the E. Jean Carroll thing was some kind of thing about the president can't be blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, some federal shit that he was trying to use to get them to take it on. And they were like, fuck you.
That won't, there's nothing there. There's nothing there that'll make this a federal case.
Damn.
So he's not going to be able to appeal it then. Well, he might be able to appeal it, but not to the Supreme Court. Okay. Let's get to Matt just sent me these. Let's talk about the extra. This is evidence, right? The stuff like this is evidence. Now, whether they actually use it, that's going to be, let's pull it up here. The stuff and found inside.
Those are courtesy of Researcher Daisy, by the way. So make sure we give her props.
Researcher Daisy. Thank you. Let's zoom this in. This was found. This looks exactly like an explosive debris from something plastic, right?
Yeah.
Looks like a battery to me.
Yeah, this looks like a charred explosive piece of a battery for sure. That was found in Tyler's, or no, excuse me, not Tyler, but that was found in the SUV that Charlie was put into, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they
No,
say
Nate,
that's a picture of. Yeah.
So
what's the chance that this is related to something medical, Nate?
Related to something medical?
Yes. Like,
let me really
like
look at
TechMed.
it.
Like, could that be that? To
Well,
me,
hold on.
looks like it could be a device that projected fake blood. But I'm biased on that. Or
no, I'm
could
looking
be
at
a device that has blood on it.
from a trauma medicine standpoint, Matt. No, there's nothing. I've never seen it.
Is it for sure burned? Like, are those edges burned?
Looks charred, yeah.
It looks like it.
This looks like explosive debris from something plastic or a battery, to Matt's point. That doesn't have anything to do with anything trauma related. Let's see, there's some other ones here, right?
But it looks like there's blood on it, right?
Oh, there's the SUV.
Yeah, it does look like it is, yeah.
Don't know what that
Some
is.
kind of fluid, yeah.
Like, among all those
Fluid.
pictures, they're all, this guy slammed his car door into my
here's-
door.
This is where Charlie was seated, I'm assuming. Or
Dude, look
No,
at
that's
some
where Frank Kirk
look at some
was.
crime scene
That's-
photos of like someone transported a gunshot victim in the back of their car and compare the amount of blood there versus there.
there's almost none, dude.
It doesn't make
Let's
sense.
say-
I mean, there's little bits here and there, but like comparatively to, dude, I've dealt with arterial wounds before, and oh my god, dude, I don't
Someone
think you
in
guys
chat
can really
saying that they
apprehend
think
how
it's
much
soaked
blood there
gauze.
is.
Danks
Gauze?
knows.
Let me
Danks
pull that
has
back
a
up.
story about like someone
No,
he saw someone
no,
lose blood
this-
that's similar.
this
Everybody
is-
like
this
I've always
is-
heard people just so like you don't even like I never thought that much blood was even inside of a human.
No,
Like,
that's not gauze, homie. That's a solid piece of it. That's a solid object. You can see like something is frayed up here, but it does look like blood on it.
it looks like blood on it.
Yeah.
But that's not gauze. That's some type of hard piece of plastic or charred battery of some sort.
How would
should we say
like,
fluid instead of blood so we don't get our
Fluid.
taken down?
Yeah.
how would
fluid.
there
Good
be
call, good
like
call.
let's say that it was
All right,
fluid
here, this is a good
from
one, too.
that, like how would that be on that piece? You know what I mean? Like
Because that was on his chest.
but did he have a chest wound?
Just what Baron showed.
Just from what. So there's a little bit, right? A little bit of fluid, but I mean nowhere near what you would expect from what we saw. Because look, there's none down here on the floors.
There's none on the ground
There's
between
little
where it
bit on the
happened and
seats where he
car. None.
was. But I mean, he also had it all over his body already, right?
And
So
it was
this
on the
isn't
platform
even-
below him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's
Yeah, that's
very little
interesting.
on his body either. Like he's got a white shirt on, and it's like, dude, there's not very much blood on him, if
And there's-
like at all.
fluid, Jesse.
Fluid.
Fluid. Sorry. Mud.
there's
There's not very
also
much
fluid
mud
on-
on him. Not very much mud on him.
But there's fluid on the security guards too when they're carrying him out. So there was some
Tiny
fluid.
bits,
for
dude.
sure.
A
I've
little
got
bit.
that. Can we show that? Can we show the footage of him being carried?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
No, it's gotten demonetized.
I have
every
it.
time
But
I've shown
yeah,
it.
I
Even
was
I would
photographs of it, I get demonetized.
okay.
Yeah.
We won't mess with that then.
I
Okay.
do have
I got
a
to
couple
jump
of
in 5 minutes,
things.
so it's
Yeah, go ahead, Diggs.
I do have a couple of things about the SUV itself. So
Mhm.
there were people. So yesterday I did a live stream and I ended up getting the car report of what's been going on with the VIN number.
Carfax.
It's beyond a Carfax. It's called a. First, I did VIN verified, which is something you would use for like Social Security and background checks, but you can run VIN numbers on them. I'm going to share my screen here, and I also have a picture from a source that sent me that works within a government agency. They ran the VIN number, so this is the VIN number of the vehicle. This is basically the same vehicle that they've been showing with the same VIN number. It's the same vehicle in general.
You guys want to real quick, Danks, you want to hear something weird?
Go ahead.
This is like the exact make and model that we always get in special operations whenever we rent vehicles for exercises. This Yukon Denali.
XL
Almost.
Denali.
I'm just saying. I'm not one that's big on the military angle here, but yeah, that's kind of weird. Sorry.
Yeah, and what's interesting though is this is actually, so I checked 3 sites, and this is from Georgia. So they were actually putting this up for auction, and it went out to
What?
other places in Georgia and in another country, Belarus. There was a listing.
They were trying to auction the SUV that Charlie was transported in.
Yeah, we were looking yesterday on my live stream. I had to convert it to English. It was showing up in like this Russian type language. So this
what were they trying to sell it for?
Somebody else want to buy it from Utah.
This original listing was in Georgian. I had converted it when I bought it. So I bought this because it had more information than the Ben Verified. The Ben Verified was similar across all the other two. So I was like, well, let me try this one. And it was much more detailed. What's funny is I ran through the information and it sold.
It sold for 62,000?
It sold, yeah, for 62,000.
What? A destroyed interior Denali.
Yeah, so the interior is 62K, 3,400 miles. There was actually 150 miles put on it after that because the registration was in
what year was it? Is it 2025?
2025.
It was December 15th. Yeah.
Nobody would pay that much for that.
So they listed it for like 5K and then 8K.
That's a $100,000 car. That's a $110,000 vehicle.
It kept going up and then it went
not after it's got what just happened in it. It's not.
This is before. This is December 2025.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I thought this was
December 2025.
After.
Okay, no, it is. That's after Charlie got shot September of 2025.
It
was.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So it went through.
Oh, wait, what?
But that's, I mean, dude, that's a $117,000 vehicle, brand new, and it's a 2020.
With the middle seats removed, though.
Yeah. Maybe when it was brand new.
It's actually. So what's interesting about this is it was salvage title in Utah, and then they register it in California under clean title. And the last time it was tracked, it did an oil change in Palm Desert at Jessup's.
How did you find it, Danks? You sneaky fuck.
I ran this and then the other two through my AI, and it came out. Look, it's got right here, California inspection.
Uncle BB,
California Motor Vehicle. So December 30th, the title was issued in El Cajon, California, and then the lien was reported. Dealer listing January 14th went up for dealer, and it was in dealer inventory. And then it was last serviced 9,000 miles at Jessup Cathedral City, which is close to Palm Desert, where Jesse was just talking about, which is close to me.
That's so weird, dude.
That vehicle now, okay, so now I told you that. Then during the live stream, someone sent me this photo, and they said that the vehicle is sitting, they know based off of government sourcing, that the vehicle itself is sitting in a different location. Here, let me pull this picture.
My goodness, whose viewer is that smoke?
I think
I know, right?
There we go.
It has to be AI though. That's like an AI picture.
But this is true.
Okay, you know what, dude? That price is not as good as I thought. The 20, like a oh wait, is that a Denali? Never mind. I'm sorry. The Yukon XL is, I'm seeing one 2025 is 74, but that was it's a Denali, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my point, dude. No one's buying that for 65,000 after what happened to it. They'd have to rip all the interior out. They'd have to fucking completely fix the entire vehicle.
They took no way out. Remember,
I was pricing this wrong. I was pricing this like it's an Escalade. This actually prices like an Expedition, like a Ford Expedition is like the same. This because like a brand new right now 2026 GMC Yukon XL is 89. So after that shit happened to it, and it's a last year's 62 is reasonable, I think.
So this person right here
also.
Yeah, got a salvage title in Utah, but then they gave it a clean title in the state of California.
But they bought it with the salvage title, correct?
They did, yes.
For 62,000 with no seat.
And right now, this person told me it got sold through insurance auction. That's why it's got the salvage title. All they had to do is either fix it or take it to the highway patrol for inspection. They can get another title.
That doesn't happen.
It's sitting at a different location under investigation, government hold. That's what
2026 Yukon is 102, brand new.
So
I'm shopping for cars now, guys.
It says a salvage title cannot become a truly clean title once branded. The vehicle's total loss history is permanently tied to its VIN.
That's what I was thinking.
Should be.
You can convert it to a a rebuilt or prior salvage, but it never becomes a clean title. So that's sketchy if it's a clean title.
So according to Zach Costello, he said he had somebody look into it and ask, why is it not showing salvage title? And he said they actually changed it recently and said, and it's now presently saying salvage title. That's what Zach Costello said. So I don't know.
A lot of weird stuff with the chain of custody of that vehicle as well.
Just like, but I mean, the
Everything
thing is,
is
man, you
weird.
just by itself, you're like,
Why
okay,
even get rid of it anyways?
right?
You're getting rid of a part of a crime scene.
Exactly.
And it went to California from Utah. That's about $1,000 just to get it transported, and it has no damn seats.
I think it was $3,000.
We'll let Jesse answer this one at the end.
Do I still think Charlie is alive? 100? Yes, I do.
There you go. All right. But anyway, like Danks, what you're just explaining by itself, that story about the SUV, you'd be like, that's fucking weird. But
yeah,
you know, but then when you add it to the 150 other fucking weird things about this case,
right?
That's the thing. There's no one-offs here. It's like, oh, well, that's kind of weird about this, or that's kind of weird about this. It's like there's 100, 200 different things that we could go through to be like, none of this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. Why we haven't even talked about like the fact that the FBI and Kash Patel just happened to shut down Joe Kent and the, National Counterterrorism Center and the CIA, both from investigating foreign ties into this as well.
Which is insanity.
Why? Why would you do that? Don't you
want you're covering up your own involvement is the only reasonable answer I can think of. Or, I mean, devil's advocate, they're trying to protect their case, but you are only responsible for domestic crime. You can't see, they're not supposed to investigate international involvement no matter what. And even if they had like, oh, Tyler Robinson admitted to it, you're all, oh, cool. Did anyone talk to him through his computer and activate him maybe from another country? Like, how would you not have a political assassination of this size? Like, how would you not investigate that?
You 100% would investigate potential foreign ties. Even if it's not our greatest ally, even if it's China, if it's Russia, if it's Iran, like you'd want to know, hey, was this a foreign-based assassination of one of the most prominent, mouthpieces in the United States in the political arena? You would want
literally
to
the president of the United States' most valuable, like populist asset in his entire administration, probably.
Yeah.
It is very weird that nobody's turning over stones to figure it out. It feels like they and to be able to just say we've got them. Once they say we've got them and they're handed over to the court, there's no more investigation, ladies and gentlemen. There's no more investigation. That investigation's over. So whatever we're doing online, that's all that's left besides the court case. And what happens after court cases go unsolved? Almost nothing usually.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is another one that's very important. You see people all the time be like, 140-meter shot. And I have shot people under duress. I probably shouldn't say that the way I said it. I may have done those things under duress,
with a
right?
Pistol, with a air pistol.
Well, you guys know my back. Everybody knows my resume, right? Like you're not surprised to hear that. But my point is,
potato gun.
And shooting under duress is incredibly different than doing it flat at the range with no stress, no pressure. Now we're talking about a situation where this kid is 22. He's not conditioned to this. It's not like he's some Navy SEAL or Green Beret. He goes in, he's taking the most crazy shot he's ever taken in his life, and he's got to do it under this insane amount of stress and duress. He also knows most likely the second that he lets that trigger off, he might get canoed in the head. Right. Like that's most likely case course of action. You assume as soon as I pull this trigger, I'm dead. Yeah. And when you factor all those things in, that's not the easy to a potentially moving target that's speaking with a microphone doing this. Not the easiest shot in the world. You know what I mean? I think that got written off really early of like, oh, it's 140 meters with a long gun. That makes it super easy. It's like,
and he's like a 20-year-old kid that has no training also,
as far as we know.
Well, you don't know that either. Like you don't know he has no training, right?
Well, I know he has no professional level. Like when we're talking, he may have firearms training at a range, learning how to shoot, but I know he doesn't have any high level tactical training that would indoctrinate him and what's the word I'm looking for? Stress inoculate him to be able to do this at the level.
How long is boot camp? How long is boot camp and training, like initial training for Green Berets?
initial training for a Green Beret, 2 years.
Okay, so you're saying he couldn't have trained with someone for 2 years, from like 18 to 20 or 20 to 22 or whatever, and had the same amount of, efficiency if he was like government trained or something, allegedly?
100%, because the first gunfight I was in, I had no fucking clue what was going on. I was so overwhelmed and stressed because it's the most insane situation you'll ever be in. So, no, I don't believe that he had that training.
Yeah.
Even if we're playing devil's advocate, no.
Yeah. So I want to correct the record real quick. I have like 30 people in chat that are saying, including researcher Daisy, she says that vehicle was sold with a salvage junk auction with a clean title. So the title was clean, according to several people.
Okay, so
hey guys, I gotta jump though. I gotta go.
I
gotta go.
Yeah, buddy, you're good.
Stuff. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Happy birthday to America. 250.
All right, let's yeah, we're gonna probably, this has fucking been great. We should have left ourselves more time. Let's
do it again for sure.
Yeah.
No, this has been good. We've gotten through most of the start to finish of everything that's happened. You know what I mean? Beyond this, we're starting to get into like different theories and things like that. Wrapping it up before we hit some super chats. I don't know whose or whose, but we'll try to like plow through those because I don't want to leave those unattended. What do we? Are
you guys available tomorrow or Sunday for the part 2 before we go live on Monday for court?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, I could do Sunday.
For me.
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday's ideal for me too.
Yeah,
let's do that. Let's do that, guys. We'll so to the chat, we'll pause this discussion here because I mean we do have more to get through. I don't want before Monday,
right?
But this has been an awesome one. If you guys, I mean, I'm assuming we got super chats for everybody here. You guys want to just blow through the super chats and then
that's cool.
Yep,
and call it good. I don't know whose or whose, so we're just
run it.
Everybody
say part 2 in the chat if you want to see part 2.
Part 2 in the chat.
I think this is a good one. All right. BB's just a day. BB, no, I hate saying the last name on the channel. Just a day after Kirk died, said it wasn't us. Now, he said it the same day, didn't he?
The same day, yeah.
Yeah, I think he said it the same day. Is like the
him and Victor Marks both said it almost at the same time.
Consider sponsoring.
BB he first showed his condolences, then he came
right.
Okay,
that's right. He showed his condolences. Didn't he do it at the exact same minute timestamp as Trump?
As Trump, yeah, like 1 minute away, something like that. 1 or 2 at the most.
DNA depends on environment, and it was just an hour or 2 after the feds, not the bomb dogs found it. Bullocks. It's all BS. I don't know enough about DNA. You guys might know more.
Yeah, that's correct. That. Like UV and stuff degrades it faster, but it can be out for years in perfect conditions.
DNA evidence is not the end-all be-all. I know this is true in court cases. The proof of DNA evidence means nothing, and the lack of DNA evidence also means nothing. If you run DNA through a PCR machine long enough, you will get your man every time.
That's a good point.
What's a PCR machine?
I'm assuming
it runs at multiple cycles and looks for certain things, certain proteins and stuff as it goes through. And if you run it enough times, eventually it will have enough.
It'll match your. Oh, okay.
Just like the COVID stuff, the PCR test for COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
Backpack like a GTA inventory spot. No clear videos or photos of Tyler in 4K at UVU.
Nope.
We got what we got so far. Yeah. Right, guys. So is there? I mean, I'm hoping
we got a video of him being in a car also, but it's not in 4K. It's not clear.
We should expect.
There's no evidence. I don't even think he was there on property. I could be wrong. Maybe he was, but
I think a lot of people are moving towards.
I don't think he was on a roof. At least
someone was on the roof.
The fiddler.
We don't know that necessarily that's him. I don't think
that
it looks like
AI of a person on the roof, though.
That's true. That's actually true.
We don't know what they're going to show from his phone, so we got to just wait, see what the prosecution puts up, I guess.
Yeah. Jesse, sorry, guys. Jesse's out of here. Scope looks like it was set here sideways. Yeah, the scope's pretty fucked up. Jan says, Nate, I don't know how you feel about Candace Owens. I think Candace is great, but she's very thorough with her investigations. You should check her investigation on this. Well, I mean, I've been following it for the last 9 months, so I think everybody likes Candace here. So in our group, at least, I'm not going to. I don't want to I don't want to speak for you guys, but
I fuck with Candace. I love Candace.
Yeah, shout out to Candace, man. She's doing
Candace
good work.
When she was in a relationship space. So yeah, I love Candace.
Charlie Kirk is JD Vance.
You know, I was saying it's like out of all the people that know Charlie, she's the only one that really seems to give a fuck. It's crazy.
That really cares. Yeah.
It's kind of sad, bro.
Isn't that like make you kind of like make your skin crawl a little bit when you see all of his friends that were just immediately like, yep, this is the truth. Don't ask any goddamn questions. Shut your mouth. And you're
Because
just like,
Charlie, to a certain degree, in their minds, denied them of an opportunity to make more money or get more money because Charlie Kirk started going against the grain. So there may be a certain amount of resentment towards Charlie from the friends, because just imagine if somebody was about to like pay all of us a whole bunch of money and one of us was like, you know what? I don't like this.
I have a moral obligation.
And then that person was to get, took out of here. You would be like, damn, that's my guy. But now we can.
I don't know, man. I don't think any amount of money can buy them all out. There's something else going on. It just,
I think you're right. I think you're right, Danks. I don't think it's
one person.
You don't know
even
how
a billion
close they were, though.
What $1 billion to have someone
just working together?
Some people won't trade souls for money, bro. They won't.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I personally see why Candace is the way she is versus the other people. I don't think they were really close to Charlie like that. They were just coworkers.
Some of them, yeah, for sure. I think a lot of these influencers that say they were so close to Charlie were probably like,
I think they were just coworkers,
connected through social media and things like that.
And because Charlie now is like, oh, Charlie was my best friend in order to get views.
Yeah.
Hey, just real quick, I just want to say something really quick. I know we're doing supers and everything, but I just want to say this. There are so many people that have been involved in research and sharing information behind the scenes and digging into everything everywhere. People you will never see.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to be seen, but a lot of people that are starting to come to light. You have like M and Researcher Daisy and all these people, Alley Top Files. There's like 50 different people. I can't name them all. But that's when I said, like, thanks to everyone who's been looking into this. Yeah. Whatever the end result is, that hard work and everything is appreciated in the community.
So much, Matt. And to your point, I mean, from all the different people that have done ballistics testing, all the different people that have dug into the court side of things, it's almost like everything the FBI should have been doing.
Yes.
And what's crazy is I would hope that the defense would review, but it's like they already got hello terabytes or whatever, 200 to study over there. It's like now they're gonna study all of us. I don't know, man. I hope they come to some conclusion, but it's gonna be I don't know, man. I'm very interested to see what happens.
This evidence is going to be interesting. Bobby says, wouldn't the photo of the weapon also include the towel they found in it? You would expect they wouldn't fuck with the evidence and take it out of the towel. They would have opened the towel and taken a picture of it. But
that's what I was thinking with the towel. Like, what's up with the towel?
I don't know, but that's what we were told. He tells Lover Lance that reckons his granddad's gun does pretty good, meaning the first time shooting this particular rifle.
Another point. No practice, because he had to steal the rifle.
No, from what I've heard, though, that's actually something we were misled on. He did not steal it from Grandpappy's basement. It was actually gifted to him by his father.
Yep,
which would make sense. The rifle that's like my 230-06s were gifted to me by my dad, and they used to be my grandpa's rifles. Right, they get passed down through the family to usually the oldest son is typically how that works. So that's, as far as I know, right? Like that was gifted. I'm pretty sure we've learned that was not stolen from Grandpappy. But again, fucking who knows?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's like a family gun, I thought.
Yeah, heirloom or like heirloom type gun that was passed down.
Like passed down, but it was held at a place where they could all get it if they want.
Which could also explain multiple DNA as well.
Now I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it was at Tyler and Lance's.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Not sure where it was, but that's as far as I understand. He didn't go to his grandpa's house and steal it out of the basement. Tyler's text: Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle. It's very unique. Again, as far as we know, and according to Barron, right, that his parents did not turn him in. Don't his parents also believe he's innocent?
Yes,
that's what we've heard recently.
It just came out and said that. Project Constitution said that.
All right, Joe says exactly 100. The kid would have screwed up zeroing during assembly. It won't work as required. Just saying this ain't the weapon. I mean, Matt, have you ever slapped a scope on a rifle and tried to shoot it without zeroing it at all?
Never.
I mean, you've definitely right. You've tried it before, right?
Well, I mean, when you zero it, you are shooting it unzeroed.
Right.
So technically, yes.
And how often is it like? Sometimes it's like 8. Sometimes it's not on paper.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, I need to bring this in to like 10 meters to at least get it on paper to figure out where the hell this is even. Now you back that up to 140 meters on a rifle that's potentially not zeroed at all. That shot could have been 10 feet off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that miss at 100 because most people, they'll zero at 100 yards with most rifles, most hunting rifles.
That's what I mean. You got to go up to 25 and do like a 100 meter, a simplified 100 meter zero because you can't even hit the paper from there because it's not sighted yet.
100%.
Charlie Kirk, we got this already. Yeah, you didn't see that one already. I think the funnier one is JD Vance and Erica Kirk being Michael Aquino's kid. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
one?
Michael Aquino's kid. Yeah.
They actually
there's evidence.
They have the same face.
Exactly the same.
They look exactly the same. Yeah.
I was talking about JD Vance looking like Michael Aquino like 5 months ago as a joke on my show when I was talking about Michael because he was a Green Beret, right? So I'm like, this fucking weird. And then I was like, God, he looks exactly like JD Vance.
Yeah.
But anyway, how would so I was gonna just ask you guys this, and this is why this is cool. How would Charlie Kirk act based on today? Do we know he wouldn't have supported Tucker and Candace? I was literally going to ask you guys, do you think, let's say Charlie was still alive, and we've seen this massive split based off the Epstein files and around more, would Charlie have been a Thomas Massey style dissenter like the rest of us, or would he have cucked for the administration?
He would have cucked.
You think
he would have cucked.
I think because he was against a lot of stuff Trump did, and he still said, you know what, I back Trump. I'm a Trump.
He still
guy.
loved Trump.
I agree.
Yeah, he loved
be.
Trump. He just
I hate to say that.
I
hate to say that because I wish he would have been a Tucker or Candace style, but I don't think he would have.
Yeah.
I don't know. With the people around him, I don't think he can.
For Trump.
It was me. I confessed. He's a 458 Win Mag with a 100-grain bullet made out of dry ice. Yeah, I mean that might have left. That might have been the correct wound.
I researched. There was over 100 people that confessed to the shooting of Charlie.
Oh, really?
Wait, what?
Yeah, that happened.
What do you mean?
Cases.
Yeah,
that's pretty common in high-profile murders.
Very common.
It is. Yeah.
Why?
They want to be famous.
Yeah, they want to be famous. Or just three hots in a car. I don't know.
Yep.
Yo.
If Murdoch is in the New York Post or is the New York Post, that reported, and Trump is close with Fox News, also Murdoch, true. And then it's Trump. And also keep in mind, Murdoch is very close with Bibi Netanyahu and our greatest ally. So there's that. Speaking of which, Benjamin Netanyahu, friend of the show, says they actually got Kirk with a P320.
And it was holstered.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was Charlie Kirk's holstered P320 that got him. That's a good sick joke. Thanks, guys, for all the updates and the work you do. Hey, Jesse. Well, Jesse's gone, but he'd appreciate it. Thomas Massey's still in office if Charlie was alive. But we just talked about this. Would he have turned on Massey? Do you think he would have? I mean, he probably would have. I think if
he would have had to.
I think he would have. Yeah, well, he got to make a decision.
When you pick a side, you have to pick the side.
Yeah. God, I hope not. And I hope not, but I think you guys are probably right. So an F-18 Eagle got shot down in Iran by jellyfish-shaped drone swarms. I was going to do a story on this, and then I just didn't get around to it. As a JTAC, somebody that's very familiar with all the munitions that all these planes use, I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm just saying that this is not anything I know exists. So whatever this thing is, it's not something I'm aware of. Again, not saying that it didn't happen. Did I tell you guys I found out about this right when it happened, but I wasn't allowed to tell people because I got told from the ground about the pilot who got shot down in Iran. Not the WSO, not the gunner, but the actual pilot. He was also the same pilot that got shot down in Kuwait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same pilot got shot down in both F-15s. Yeah, F-15s. Bad luck.
Oh, real quick. I just want y'all to remember when we talk about the loyalty of Charlie Kirk, and you got to remember this. Charlie Kirk may have went to prison if
Trump wasn't elected.
Trump wasn't elected. So you got to remember that. That is his actual loyalty. So
True.
he saved Charlie from going to prison. So you got to think about that too. So he would have been loyal because of that in particular.
Forever
loyal. Fair, actually.
Yeah, forever loyal. Yeah.
It's a pretty fair point. BB again says, I supplied all the mics in the courtroom in case something goes off script.
Holy shit, bro.
I don't know whose that is, but
that's some shit. Hey, Amy, what's up?
Says, this is one of your guys. It says he probably wouldn't get to trial until mid 2027 at least. Are we all staying friends till then? Do you guys think it'll take that long after the pre-hearing? Shouldn't.
Well, she wants a speedy trial.
The Diddy case lasted for 2 years, I think.
When did the prelim end?
From the actual start of the trial, it wasn't that long. Like the trial itself.
Trial until mid.
No, you're right. You're right. It wasn't.
Do you think it could be a year from now? I don't think so.
I don't think so. With the pre-hearing and the evidence trial, I think it'll be. It should. Once they wrap this up, they're going to decide if this goes to trial or not.
They're going to try.
I think it'll be around a year.
What are they going to do from then? This is like they've already done all of the pre-trial and the pre-hearings other than the evidence.
Well, they have to let the defense review all of the
evidence,
the data,
right? And then they got to pick.
They can keep pushing it back and pushing it back, push jury selection, all that.
The Carmelo Anthony case, that was a pretty small case, and that lasted for 2 years.
God damn. Let's hope not, man.
So
I know they've been trying to push for a speedy trial, both sides. So, well, not the defense as much, but
and Diddy was in jail for 2 years, before So yeah, it can happen.
This is interesting. Let's see. Do I have I think one of you guys shared the picture of the rifle.
Did you notice the picture?
I'll have to relook at it. I'm not sure where. I don't have it pulled up anywhere.
Yeah, I did. I covered this in my video as well. But there's aftermarket. There's aftermarket ones that look similar that go past 90 degrees. So if you look at the side of it, it's at 90 degrees. That'd be like the factory one. That one would hit the scope. But they have aftermarket ones that are on that side that go past 90 degrees, like down at an angle. And those can actually just be flipped up and down on just the right side and not even hit the scope. So technically, if it's an aftermarket safety, just like there's aftermarket stock and 30-06 conversion, it's not out of question that he could flip it up and down on the right side. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. All right. That's important stuff to know, right? Like if you can show that things are possible, that's good to know too. Sixth Amendment guarantees a defendant the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses against them. Granting immunity to a witness does not waive the constitutional right. Lance can't hide. Well, keep in mind, hold on though. Immunity is not saying that he does not have to attend the trial or have to go up and face cross-examination. What immunity is that he cannot be charged for a crime based off of the things he says during that deposition. Right. So if Lance Twiggs has full immunity and he gets up there on the trial and he goes, I killed Charlie Kirk, the trial's over and Lance Twiggs doesn't go to jail. So that's how immunity works. Immunity is not like he doesn't have to show up to trial because he has immunity. That's not
the immunity that he has is called limited use immunity. So it's just for what he's telling, whatever he's presenting. But other than that, outside of what he's presenting, he could be held criminally liable for something.
I'm saying if you were given full immunity as a witness, which he has not been, right? I'm just saying, like hypothetically, if he were to get full immunity, he still has to potentially get called. He could still get subpoenaed. He just wouldn't be able to be tried for potentially something that he said when on the stand. It's typically how actual immunity works, but he doesn't have that, right? Thanks.
Right. Correct. Yes, you're correct.
Look up PTFN explosion. Is that what that is? Against bulletproof glass. And here you will find two men putting a PTFN explosion charge on bulletproof glass. Sounds the same as gunshot that day and brings up the honor. Oh, are you talking about petting? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I mean, that's outside my wheelhouse, even here. I'm going to take your word for it. You five are hip to be square.
Well, I remember that song.
Proud of y'all. Thank you. Wouldn't showing the judge the pick of the rifle, pointing the safety out, and it can't fire. Well, Matt just explained that one away. So
yep. And I've seen the actual safety available online and everything. So
There you go.
Yep.
Tyler Robinson, friend of the show. Well, I mean, not really, but thanks, BB. Someone on the left knows only a little about firearms. I appreciate your guys' analysis. Well, I'm glad that we can provide a little insight. Thank you. Oh, here we go. They planted the fragment in his neck. I truly believe that is why Frank had blood on him also, and why the stories didn't match. I mean, here's the thing. If everybody's in on it and the medical examiner's in on it, you don't even need to plant anything. Right? And actually, like trying to plant something in the neck, the medical examiner is going to get in there and look at that and be like, what the fuck is this? Why did you guys shove something in the wound?
It won't look natural. Yeah.
So
what was the thing on his back? We can talk about that in part 2.
The blowout?
Yeah. We go to part 2 and talk about that then if you want to. But
according to me and DevGru operator Rob O'Neill and a bunch of special operators, we don't fucking know as it comes to a bullet. A lot of us have looked at that and gone, pretty weird.
Well, the thing that was on his back is the thing that boggles me the most. As far as setting, this being some type of purposeful setup or something.
What are you talking about? The actual, like how his shirt blows out?
Yeah. It was something on his back because it was a cord that came out. I can show you guys that.
Well,
of course, you can't show it here. Huh?
I think that's his necklace that comes off.
No. It was actually a cord. I can show it to y'all in a group chat.
Yeah, I mean, I've like done that frame by frame by frame in videos, whether it's a necklace or a cord. I don't know. As for a gunshot to the neck, you wouldn't expect any of that to happen. As potentially, and I guess that's what, even though it's not my theory, it pushes me a little bit more towards potentially some type of explosive. That's actually what you would potentially see from an explosive underneath the shirt is that type of blown force that actually would do something like that due to the actual like seismic shock that's come off that explosive that you would expect to see there. As for a gunshot wound, a 30-06 shot to the neck,
right?
Why is that going to blow his shirt 6 inches off
Why
his
would
neck?
the back of his shirt blow up? And where it is, I can show you guys. It's actually a wire or a cord, and it's not a necklace. I can show you guys later.
Again, I don't know, Matt. Any ideas? I mean,
with everything we've looked at, with everything I've looked at, and we've gone over a million times.
Maybe the cavitation in his neck.
Yeah. So the thing going on the back, some people think it's cavitation, but typically the cavitation goes perpendicular to the direction of the bullet. So you would expect you expect to go up and down, not to the sides.
That
kind of stuff,
would be this way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's weird. And then if it was, an event in the front from the road mic, you would typically expect anything to blow out the back unless it was like a piece of shrapnel or something. And why would it curve around the soft shirt and then hit the back? You know what I mean? Like
it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's very strange.
And what's so crazy?
It looks pointy. It looks pointy too. You know what I mean? It's like
it's what's so crazy about that. I was actually going back through my stuff, looking for stuff for this episode, and I came across me and Gary's episode like 4 days after the shooting where we sat down, went over this, and we were trying to figure it out. And we were looking at the shirt, right? The shirt fucking raising up bizarrely, the blowout in the back. And that's why we were both like, is it body armor? Like, what the hell is going on here? Because this is not normal. And that was before, this was before like controversies, like everything, right? When we're just looking at this completely vanilla, everybody was just like, none of this makes sense for a gunshot, That was well before anybody even had mentioned explosives. So we did this one already. I don't understand the engraving. Why are we engraving bullets, guys? Is this like it seems like every
every trans crime has engraved bullets. Yeah.
Engraves bullets. Is this like
I don't think he was shot, so the whole bullet thing to me is null and void. So the engraving of the bullet actually just makes it look like he was shot and he wasn't shot.
All right, I got to start blowing through these. I got about 17 minutes to get to the rodeo. All right, how can we believe the government? The medical examiner could have been paid off. Sorry, I don't believe anything they put out. I don't believe the government on anything. I worked for the government for a long time, so I don't know what your guys' thoughts, but
I'm right there with you.
Seems that the rifle was fired. The dogs would have found it. Yes, they would have. I can tell you, having worked very closely with bomb dogs and Army Special Forces on every combat operation I've ever been on, they are incredible. And yes,
they didn't allow the dogs on the site though.
The FBI did, or excuse me,
did?
the sheriff's department, not on site. The sheriff's department used them to try to find the rifle in the surrounding area,
but
could not find it
near the tent.
No,
No,
well, they weren't. They weren't
I'm just
looking
saying
for
like
the rifle
explosives
intent.
or whatever. Okay, gotcha.
No. I don't know if the dogs looked smelled in the. I'm just talking about
Right. Because I think that's why they paved over everything. No dogs.
could be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they should have done it. Came out from the governor and the FBI office that it all needs to be done. This is the talking about paving over. They had to dig the ground away to hide fake blood and make sure there wasn't any gunpowder residue on the soil. Or if this was like some type of explosive, maybe. Dude had to call in friends to make it happen. Yeah, I mean, I think paving over, I don't know what you guys think, but I think paving over the area makes way more sense if there was some type of explosive that went off.
Yeah.
Or as like why you would need to. Could the defense FOIA paver permits? The defense could FOIA anything they want, right, in a murder trial. So they absolutely could. You and I could try, but anybody can FOIA anything, guys. Whether they give you those documents or not, you never know.
And in time.
X-Count claimed OSHA required cleanup for ED facilities. Okay. For the mods, thank you, Christy. Sup, dudes. Happy 4th. Hold on to your sacks. Thank you. Danks. Oh, yeah. Danks gifted 5 memberships.
I did my to some of the people in the chat.
Oh,
there's a membership.
Nice. Shout out to you. That was so dope.
You can gift members to your own chat.
Yeah, dope. Actually, they give us.
Shit, I didn't even know
they
you
give
could
us
do that.
some free ones every month. I have like 10 saved up. Yeah.
I wonder how many I have.
Click in your. If you go in your studio right now, you should be able to give some memberships. But you got to go in the actual live studio on YouTube.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and then you click like the plus sign, like you're gonna give a super chat or something like that. Let me see. Where am I at? Let me go to it and show you.
Okay.
So you don't.
Yeah, where it shows the plus sign, and then it says.
I had no idea.
Not the plus sign. Sorry, the dollar sign, and it says membership gifting.
Oh, nice.
Membership gifting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's every month? Oh,
yeah, I think it refreshes every month.
I screwed my fans because I could have been doing this. We missed out on like fucking 100 of these.
Yeah, I noticed this like 2 months ago. So
genius.
I
what
give
in
them
the
out
world?
Yeah.
I got 5 more. There we go. All right. I gifted.
I spilled the beans here just to tell you guys.
Oh, damn, Danks. I was hoping that they accumulated. I was hoping I was going to have like 200 of them, but no, they roll over each month.
Sorry, chat.
Sorry, chat. Well, thank you to Danks for that because somehow
you might have more because I have less subs, so.
No, I have to pay for them from there on. But okay, I didn't know I could. That's cool though. I can actually pay to gift subs to my own members. Okay, I kind of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, thanks. I learned something new today, guys. Just as honest question: the shot supposedly was taken from a roof. There is wood technically the residue. Now the pave over all but says the shot was not taken from the roof. Yes, Joe. I have no idea what you're saying here. Shot was supposed to be taken from the roof. Would technically. Oh, you mean residue on the roof? Yeah, there'd be gunshot residue for sure on where you would expect underneath the barreling of the weapon. If he didn't have some type of suppressor on. I don't know. Matt, did we get anything on that other than like
no?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. The paving over is an issue. They're moving the dirt by someone other than the guy doing the paving is my concern.
Yes, agreed.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any proof Lance and Tyler were actually dating? And where's the proof? He was trans. Pic seems like 10 years old. The Turkey Tom video, I think, is worth a watch if you haven't watched it. You guys watch that?
No.
Yes. It's really interesting, but some people think it was made up, contrived.
Maybe, dude, that would be a lot because he had like pictures and shit.
Yeah, there were
drawings. You go to Baron's new clip channel. He has a clip, like a full explanation of what the Turkey Tom situation is. Baron Coleman clips.
So do we think that it was real or wasn't real? The person, what do you know what the Baron is under the conclusion?
Yeah, he thinks that it. I mean, allegedly, I can't speak for him, but it seems to me that he thinks that the source is a Fed. Like an actual Fed, yeah.
That's what I think. Makes everything way more interesting because it was so good. There was so much in that to where you're like, "Holy shit!" Right?
Yeah.
That video is what made me think or still believe that they're both involved. I believe they're MK Ultra patsies, but that video is why I thought that they were at least involved, right? At like some low level, like maybe trying to help with the situation. But if that's just Fed slop. They might not even be involved at all.
I mean, that was so early as well. It feels like that was some of the early planting of the narrative seeding for Lance Twiggs, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man. I got to watch that one.
Yeah.
So my question is, what was handed off right away when they all jump over the table? I believe the guy in black shorts ran off quickly. I mean, they tried to say car keys, right? Isn't that what Brian Harpole said in the Sean Ryan interview? It was car keys that were being handed off. Like when you see all that, like when they're supposed to be treating Charlie and they're handing shit.
Oh yeah. Car
I
keys.
think they tried to say it was car keys, but there's multiple things passed.
Multiple things being passed around. Yeah.
So that's what they said.
Gonna know
that. Jesse. Well, Jesse's not here. You need to about Eric Kirk. I'll text him. I'll text him and let him know that you Snake Eyes. I'll let him know that you're trying to get a hold of him. Is an explosive Mossad pager? Well, I mean, not a pager, but a road
You
knife.
believe Trump got gifted gold pager? How crazy!
That's so. I can't believe they did that.
Isn't that crazy? And he loves it too.
I mean, I don't think he gets it. I don't think he actually even gets the threat.
Oh, you
know
don't?
what I mean?
Really? Interesting.
I mean, who knows, dude? Like, I think he might just think it's like, a fun gold pager. Look how cool this gold pager is, you know? He's old. Like, he would have used a pager back in the day. Question: when they brought in dogs to look for a weapon after when they found the weapon, were the dogs previously in that same area? That's all these dogs do. Yeah, I mean, according to what we know, I can't confirm it.
According to Candace, the dogs.
That's what the reporting says. And if you know, from my source in the sheriff's department, they did see that they did sweep the area with dogs. He told me the same thing. So
not
there's pictures of it. Yeah,
he didn't tell me that they like couldn't find the rifle or anything like that, but he said they were searching the area with dogs. So I know they were. Now, as for what the dogs did or did not find, that's Candace's story. Oh, we're cooking. I'm almost there. Oh wow, that's quite the outfit. You want to show everybody your outfit? No, you're good. Come in here. Look at my wife's rodeo outfit. Come on in here. What are you doing? You look good. She's looking pretty fancy.
Oh yeah, going dancing.
All right, we're cooking through these. All right.
People like
guys.
your shirt too, Nate.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to the rodeo tonight, guys. Candace Owens talked to the doctor. They said they didn't find bullet pieces, but white powder residue only. If it was a bullet, it had to be fragmented bullet. Only which powder. Powder Petin makes sense. Petin is just Petin's not what you would use as an explosive to try to kill somebody is the problem. Like you're not going to put Petin in a pager and like you're not going to see a directional blast that is pushing a fragment into his neck from some type of Petin explosive. Petin's just going to blow up this way, right? So I'm not sure about Petin. You know, I do like the shape charge, the John Brate shape charge theory, I think is the one that I'm most intrigued by as for like that works with the wounds and everything. But as for an actual explosive, you can't just put Petin in a pager and think that you're going to get that type of wound. That's not going to happen.
The directional shape charge without anything is most convincing to me, I think.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, that's it's an EFP, very common IED, large scale IED that we saw in Iraq. So you would just shrink that down a miniature size and you would have the same effect. And I mean, again, I did the episode with Matt and John Bray and was very intrigued by John's theory. I think it's the theory I'm most like lean towards outside of like a regular gunshot, in my opinion. I don't know where you guys are at, but
I mean, isn't that crazy? You can literally kill someone with just pressure and air, and it's just so wild, man.
Yeah, you can blow through a Bradley tank, dude.
Yeah,
like straight through, like it's magma. Like,
jeez,
that's like
there's an actual air gun. Oh, that's on the market.
It's a real thing, dude. It's crazy. Those things go straight through tanks. It was like the nastiest IED in Iraq. James says, I want to know what inspired him to talk to his parents to turn himself in. This is not true as far as I understand. True. What made him realize he was being set up and the new info, and the family says he didn't confess. He did it on 9/11 before media images. According to Barron and new sources that I saw you guys talking about, as far as we know, the family didn't turn him in.
No.
And in fact, you know how we know the family didn't turn? I forgot about this. This was months ago. You know how we know the family didn't turn it in? Because the Utah head sheriff, came out in a press conference like 5 months ago, and literally said the parents didn't turn him in. It was his friend, the former sheriff, that recognized Tyler Robinson because he used to be not a Boy Scout leader, but like a church group leader or some sort. And he recognized Tyler from that. And he went over to the house to convince the family and convince Tyler to turn him in. That was the same sheriff that resigned an hour after the ATF report came out. You guys know about that?
Mm-mm.
You guys don't know about that?
Yeah.
That's like one of the craziest parts of this entire story.
Hold on, repeat it again.
The Utah County Sheriff, the head sheriff, who came out and said he was like one of the main sheriffs on the case.
Yeah,
he was one of the ones at the press conference 6 months.
Short bald head guy or the guy with the hat on?
Bald head guy. Gotcha. Came out and said that it wasn't Tyler Robinson's family that turned him in. It was another sheriff that had retired that he had worked with.
It was like a friend of the family that they trusted, and they brought
because
him.
He was like a church group leader for
pastor
Tyler
or something.
A pastor, and he recognized Tyler, and he went over to the house and convinced Tyler to turn himself in. Otherwise, the SWAT team was going to show up and kill him. Right?
Yeah, it was the safest option.
He said that at a press conference, and that is the same sheriff who resigned from the sheriff's department 1 hour after the ATF report came out. That said that the bullet couldn't conclusively. And people were like, and I pressed, when I debated Gary about this on Alex Jones, I asked him about that. I'm like, don't you think that's weird? And he was like, well, no, that's just coincidence. Like, well, it might
Everything is a coincidence, right?
But it's a pretty bizarre coincidence that 1 hour after that report came out, he was like, nah, dude, I'm out. I'm fucking out, boys. I'm done, so sheriff. That's true. That happened, right? I mean, you can fact check that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I did a whole video on it when that came out.
What were you looking at, Nate? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, probably about 5 minutes. We got to blow through these guys. We're just going to hit big ones from now. Sorry to everybody. Phil Oregonian moved to Florida 5 years ago. Let's look into the trans thing. Not even sure. Too much of the T word on this one. We got to hit these ones. I don't know who this is for. Omarosa. I don't remember this one. Maybe for one of you guys. The odds of being shot by a T shooter at the exact moment Charlie was answering a question about two shootings is essentially zero. Just Mossad inventing jokes to make another Mossad laugh.
Yes,
it's pretty coincidental, right? like,
isn't
that one? And the fact that he was shot in the throat. I know that was like all that at the very beginning. It was just kind of, or maybe not shot in the throat, but the wound was to the throat. It's pretty weird.
I think the throat part was inadvertent. I think something went wrong.
But Oma Musa, I'm not sure who that was to, but thank you very much for the generosity. Draw Latina, this is for one of you guys too, says kudos to Mr. LETGO. I'm assuming it's for you, whom I remember was into some sort of the under the t-shirt explosion from the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
it was the air actuated pellet discharger. I was thinking it was an air pellet or something.
There you go. Tungsten iridium carbon alloy weighted 2.25 to 2.5 grams, giving a mass comparable to the standard 22 bullet. Its density launched at subsonic speeds will penetrate, but loses kinetic energy to exit. Now, I think that's too big of an entrance wound for a 22 caliber round myself, from what I've seen, but who knows? Right.
That looks like too big of an entrance wound for a 30-06. I mean,
it does look like too big of an entrance wound for a 30-06. So yeah, that's a big problem, right? If this is the entrance wound, that's not going to be a 22. You'd basically not even be able to see the entrance wound of a 22 almost on camera from that far away. It'd be very, very hard to see. Again, we'll get these as we're talking. How in the world did we end up with a cross-eyed free shooter and a matching cross-eyed FBI director to go with him? That's super funny, actually.
That's funny.
Cash Patel, friend of the channel. Yeah. It's a good-looking group of dedicated people. Thank you for all the you have done. Can't stop, won't stop. Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate you. We all know exactly what that is. I'm not sure what we're talking about here, Ryan. Thank you, though. I'll get back to a few of these. That SUV was purchased as a trophy.
That's a thought.
Did they know, though? Did they know that's what they were buying?
Yeah, they were from California.
Thanks. Did they know that they were buying that vehicle based off of what you could tell from the reporting?
I think that the pricing speaks for it. That I think
you're like, why is this Yukon Denali
and the distance? Yeah,
they already tried to sell it for less than 10 grand twice. Then over 20 grand twice, and then it just jumped up to 49.
What?
And then it bid it up all the way to 62.
So it was
That's crazy.
Ooh.
I can send you the file.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
that's so
That's
crazy.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, that just makes things creepier. All right, Kevin with a big donation. Thank you. I can see mid Jeet corn on your glasses, Jesse. I think this is
Wait,
Jesse.
what?
Do you thing short king? Oh, Jesse getting called a short king. He's not gonna like that. Jesse's not that short, guys. Jesus. He might be the shortest one here, though. Brittany, thank you for the big donation. Says, I'll be in court Monday. This is going to be fun. I don't know how they get a conviction on this kid. Are you going to be at the trial? Is that what you're saying? Let's completely set up. Maybe I should loan the judge my Mauser and see how fast he can break it down. And it feels down a pound. Like, that's going to be crazy. If you're going to be in the trial, let me know. Reach out to me.
There's a lot of people that are going to be there.
I have heard a few people. God, we should have done it. We should have gone there, dude. What were we thinking? Kind of both.
Well, the court case, we plenty of time if they go.
To the actual trial. Yeah, we should do that for the
unless it gets to some crazy scenario. If it's important enough, maybe last minute trip.
Insurance adjuster. Yes, you can take a salvage title in one state and get a clear title in another state. Here we go. It's done frequently. You can also take two vehicles, make one out of it in a rebuilt title, and then it get cleared in another state.
Oh, I think it was under a rebuild title.
So there you go.
I'm not sure. I'll share the file with these guys.
All right, we'll check that out on the next one. Draw Latina again, big $50 donation. I think this was for Mr. Letgo last time. I said, I am so thrilled that the five of you guys came together for this episode. It's nice to see the collaboration amongst smaller channels. Each of you has been given so much knowledge and important attention to this case with much gratitude. Oh yeah, guys. Also, I should have said this at the beginning. Make sure you go subscribe to everybody that's here. All my audience, make sure that you guys go subscribe to Matt and Danks and Aaron. You probably already subscribed to Jesse, but we'll make sure I'll do a better job of that next time of pushing you guys, my audience. Baron's shadow video is an underrated topic. People don't discuss much. The shadows don't match the time of day, they claim. I haven't seen this, but I need to look at this.
That was the reason why I said the video was AI, because the shadows were off.
That when he's running away, I've seen that where he just doesn't have a shadow on live payment.
Yeah, and the people disappear past the tree.
But didn't you see Gary debunked that already, guys? I don't know if he actually did, but I saw him saying he did. So, Bobby, big $50 donation. Thank you, brother. Says they want us to believe this kid pulled this off, then leaves a trail of breadcrumbs leading right to him.
Right to him.
Yeah, he did. This has always made zero sense to me. The kid is the fall guy for something more devious. Yeah, I've always, again, as somebody, I thought it was a professional hit. That was the first video I did because I was like, dude, this guy got in, infiltrated the crime scene, took the shot, got out, didn't get caught, and he was gone for 30 hours. And I was like, dude, you're never going to find whoever this was. If he's 30 hours later, he's fucking long gone. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, nope, don't worry. He sent all the messages, and it just happens that a sheriff fucking was friends with his family and turned him in.
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. Tamara, you're in Utah. One of my fans said they're in Utah. I just want to
Tamara Foot. Yeah.
Let me know if you are in Utah. Like, send me a DM, Tamara. That's big.
This is go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. This might be better for Danks. I have no idea how any of this shit works. So
I work at an auto auction and not sure how the SUV got a salvage title for bio cleanup. I'd like to talk to you more about it. I don't think it got a salvage title for bio cleanup. The way that they've packaged this is that they removed the middle seats. So the middle seats are removed. The carpet or whatever is underneath that is also removed, and so that devalues the car into salvage territory. However they do it, but whatever they're going to classify. So, yeah.
All right. Sorry for the answer. This picture of the rifle does look like it could collapse and fold easily. No, a 30-06 is not got a collapsible butt stock on it. Not typically. Like Matt said, that version typically is a 2-screw breakdown. At least as far as I understand it for those Mausers. I don't have one myself, but stop kissing a wall in a tiny hat to watch this. Well, thank you. We're almost there. Jury selection will take a long time. Ooh, the jury selection is going to be very, very, very important on this one. Don't forget what Joe Kent said. Charlie was trying to stop Trump. True. And said something to Kent about it in the White House. Can't remember the exact words. I think he would have been with Tucker. If he wasn't killed, TPUSA was normal. So he told Joe Kent, what exactly did he say to Joe?
He was passing him by and said,
yeah,
Whatever you do, don't let them go to war with Iran.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yep, I do remember that. Yep. Sorry, I'm skipping over some smaller one, guys, but we got to get out of here. We're gonna make this up on Sunday. Bobby says if he had been hit by a 30-06, the back wall of the tent would have looked like Jackson Pollock's painting.
Yep,
100% true.
that's a fact.
The whole FBI narrative was a lie. Yeah, you again, no exit wound 30-06, not a thing. So a rifle was in a box put together without a screwdriver and no blue towel. So Tyler stashed the box prior. I don't know, but I mean, Matt, how did he put it back together with no screwdriver? Do we know?
Well, so here's what. So earlier I was trying to say this, but like obviously we all talk for a living, so we're all talking on each other. Yeah. But basically, I think what they think happened is he went up there with the stock separate and only the barrel down his leg, and the stock was maybe in the backpack or something. And when he got to the roof, he put in the 2 screws, took the shot, and jumped off with a full rifle in his hands in the towel. I think that's the story.
That's the way the FBI narrative. That's how they're explaining it away. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds a little silly, but in a year's time, you guys will be looked back at as the few strong men that came out and fought back against this cabal. Love watching good men being brave and using their voices. Keep it up, guys, or we'll all be banned off of YouTube.
That part.
That's possible.
You're gonna have to watch us on Rumble.
Yeah, and EOD disarmor. Yeah, I do love the EOD boys. Electronic primer was placed under CK's seat. Impact was from below. Frag exit wound in the neck, paved over to hide markers in the GSR and the bone frag.
Would have blown his leg off.
Yeah, that would have been pretty nasty for sure. All right, last one for the wife's outfit. Thank you. Who knows how much she spent on it? Probably a lot, but that's the way it goes. And then last one here. But how did he realize he was a patsy and needed to turn himself in? What made him realize he was in jeopardy?
He was warned.
Well, he didn't turn himself in, bro. When they show up to your house and they say, we know who you are, they're going to show up to the SWAT team, kick in your door, and probably shoot you in the fucking face. And you're when you're a 22-year-old kid, you're going to go, well, I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to turn myself in.
Yeah.
Turning yourself in doesn't mean you're guilty, guys. It means that the law enforcement department has put a warrant out for your arrest.
Mm-hmm.
You have the decision to where you can turn yourself in, or they can bring you in, right? There's whether you did it or not, that's irrelevant. So, all right, we did it, guys. I got to get to the rodeo. Thank you all so much. We'll be back Sunday. Does that sound good?
Thank you for having us, man.
Happy
early 4th of July, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Thanks to the audience. Thanks to the super chats. Thanks for all the all of our usual viewers. Thanks to the moderators. Make sure you guys go follow all my subscribers. Dankster, Triggersmart, Aaron, Mr. LETGO, and also all of your guys' fans. Hey, if you like me, maybe
give Nate a follow. Come on now.
So, all right, guys, we'll be back. We'll be back Sunday for another one, man. This was a fun one. Thank you guys. Also, thank you guys for coming on the show and doing the show with me tonight. So,
yes, sir.
Great. There's a ton of stuff I learned tonight. So that's the crazy thing about this trial is even when we're close, we all following it this close, we're still learning things. All right, we're gonna cut it off here, and we'll catch you all later. All right, see you guys. I'll talk to you in the next. All right, see you guys.